Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning, afternoon, good evening, and good night. We're going to pretend like we just met and just started something. We've been talking the entire time. And there's Susan's back. She was off playing with the wolf. I'm making tea. Apparently, I got to tell you a little secret. Apparently, when you make tea, you got to put water in the kettle. I was unaware of that.
Apparently.
Making
It's a
tea
nice
was, it helps. I was pouring the tea, and I was like, why's no water coming out? I didn't put any water in the kettle. Works a little better that way. There you go. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hanging out here with nobody's names on the screen, but Christine, Jonathan, and Susan.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about ancient
Where are our
knowledge.
names?
Welcome to Ancient Knowledge Friday, huh?
Hi, my name is Beaufont.
Yeah, that's just gonna get you arrested. That's gonna trap some type of algorithm. I'm not sure you want to say that. That man is wanted in multiple universes.
Oh, wait. Do you hear this? Wait. So like 2 days ago, I saw this thing that said there's speciesism. So if you call somebody a chicken, you're offending the chicken.
Oh my God.
And so you should say coward instead of chicken. But wait. This gets better. So anyway, I seen it and I was like, fake news. This can't be real, right? So my uncle today picks me up from work and he's like, Sue, want to hear what happened in Crazyland today? And he goes, the thing called speciesism. I was like, it's real? And he's like, yeah, they said it on Newsday. And I was like, I saw it on Facebook.
That is
I
awesome.
think it was real, right? So then when I get home, I tell my mom, and she's like, adults go on TV and say this is
It's really totally
That's
decay. Totally decay.
yeah. Like grown adults say this on TV.
You can't say anything.
Isn't that great? You gotta
So,
love it.
That's gold. That's gold.
It is the funnest end of the world I've ever lived through.
Yeah.
This is the first one. Out of all the end of the world, this is a great one.
Yeah. Atlantis had a tidal wave. I mean, that was like real. Real, right in your face. We got, what do we got? Huh.
Yeah.
Anus test?
Anal swabs.
Test?
Anal swabs. Yeah.
And people are serious. They're like, oh my God.
The end of the world is going to be anal swabs. I thought it was going to be like comets and hellfire.
Right, comets and
people keep on taking
volcanoes.
I cannot.
California falling into the sea.
Yeah, no, freaking anal swabs. The shittiest apocalypse.
This is where we're at. This is the best we can do.
It's literally shitty.
Am I okay? Oh, guys. Tornadoes, super volcanoes, pole shifts, extinction events, and all the things that people have dealt with. And we got to be the generation with anal swabs.
It's an insult. I can't
It is. It's an insult.
Give me the hurricanes.
This is my problem when it comes to the aliens. I just think they sit back and laugh at us. That's why they won't land, because we're something wrong with our brain.
I think
Oh my God.
they're dying every time. They're dying. My God. Yeah, I wish I was an alien now. I'm watching at the humans.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Anal swab, right? Anal swab, yeah.
We are the entertainment system of the universe. You can't convince the aliens. They come here to vacation just to see what I think half the time they pay good money and they get to be Bill Gates or someone, and they come up with these ridiculous schemes and dumb stuff. Let's just see let's just go to Earth and see if we can get everybody to jab anal swabs up their butts to see if they're going to die or not. And let's just be fun. Let's hang out on Earth. They'll believe anything. All you got to do is put it on the television and they'll go along with it. I think we're an alien entertainment system.
Yeah. So, yeah. Praise Saturday Human Show. Mom, can I look?
This show making me retarded.
Can you imagine going to the pearly gates at the end, and Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and Shiva and everybody's at the end of the pearly gates? Well, what happened? What did you give your life up for? I was fighting so people would stick a swab in my butt.
Oh my God,
and I died fighting.
Yeah.
We are like the Jersey Shore of the galaxy.
We have to be. We're the Cardassians of the dead.
Yeah.
We're the Kardashian dimension.
Oh God.
Oh my
We're
God.
definitely from another planet. There's no way we're from here.
I was born at the wrong time. You gotta enjoy it though. You really gotta enjoy it. That's all you can do. And what else you gonna do? We're gonna sit here and cry about it. We can't cry about it. We gotta laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is, but the funny, scary part though, and I don't want to talk about it because we're gonna get serious, but the whole Del Bigtree 1974, it blew my mind that they found a compound back then that stopped that. And 2020 would have never happened if they made that line of compound available to everybody. It blows my mind. We are in the twilight zone. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, you can't make it up. And the stupidity, I mean, how can people be that stupid? I cannot grasp that. How can...
I can't either.
Well, how can you be that nefarious? Like, how can you keep from people something that stops... I'm not even sure, how long they'll let us say stuff like that, but stops people from dying after they get a flu. Like, how that's why it's spiritual warfare. It has to be. It has to be nefarious. You got aliens that come here from like comedy planets and they need to get away and have some fun with the monkeys. But then you got aliens that just must be very nefarious, and they're just like, yeah, we're going to go dominate Earth by letting 1 billion people die so we can make a $78 billion selling a product that nobody needs because they resolved this in 1974, and let's just keep it from everybody. That's crazy. That's spiritual warfare. I don't think humans can do that.
No, it's dark powers. They don't care.
Reptilians.
They try and turn us into them, basically.
Yeah, it's true. That's the thing.
They try and turn us into them.
They will be destroyed, but they will take as many of us with them if they can. But they know they will be destroyed because light will erase them anyhow. Yeah.
Maybe they just want to send us to Jesus with a story that we died fighting on a hill because they wanted to stick things in our butts. Oh, y'all, I got one. I know. Send them all up to Muhammad fighting.
I know.
Right,
for $1,400.
$1,400.
$1,400 to stick something up my butt.
They don't even get a kiss either. John Golden, he'll sniff you, but he won't kiss you. I've never seen him kissing a... Well, maybe he did kiss an adult. I don't know. I don't know if he get a kiss.
Yeah. And actually, they might not even give us the $1,400.
No, they're not. No, they don't work that down. No, they won the election. They're like, oh, y'all can go
after bank fees and service charges, it's more like $1,375 or thereabouts.
$600.29.
If they decide we deserve it.
Right.
If you're good. If you hold still while they shove the thing in your butt and in your arm.
If you're good little children that do what you're told.
Yeah.
And that's a part of That's the part of ancient knowledge as I try to rope this back around to the whole point of the discussion. Don't let anybody stick anything in your butt. That was Kool Moe Dee. He was a prophet. He said that in the 80s.
It's one of their teachings.
You know, it had to be.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's an Egyptian scroll or a temple somewhere with like a guy with a probe and the guy with, you know, bending over and it's like an X through it. It's on one of the, it's in the Dendra temple.
Yeah, they weren't that dumb to have to have
Censored
that.
in the time.
It's in the Book of the Dead. It's in the Book of the Stupid.
That's all the comment.
We actually are going to talk about initiation today. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's totally
Some-
the
sometime.
Yeah, I still have to
Sometime in the
get that
afternoon.
book.
It's butt initiation.
Oh, you don't have it? Okay.
No, I don't.
All right.
Yeah.
Face diaper.
No, and most of my books I lost or got ruined in storage. Like, I know it's sad. Losing books is like losing a lot.
I know. Don't you hate that? Especially if it's like
Yeah.
one that's
You're like, oh
like
my god,
your favorite. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Or my worst is I forget which box I put it in. So I'm like looking through 6 boxes before I find the one I'm looking for. Great. Good
Yeah,
job.
me too.
Yeah.
Or you loan it to someone and they somehow think it's theirs after.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no, I actually gave that to you temporarily so you could just read it. No, you sure not bought this? No, you did not buy that book. And then you just let it go because it's not worth it.
I know. I think about that all the time. If I have to like Underground Railroad out of here, which books am I going to take with me?
Right.
You only take so many
Right.
books. on
How many
that
can
bag.
you fit in that bug out bag? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Dang.
literally
Mhm.
not a thought in my mind. You got wet robes, face diapers, and FEMA camps. I'm not thinking about none of that. We getting in the car. I might even leave a child or two hanging on the bumper. No, I'm getting out of Dodge. I don't think about books. I'm thinking about these people are serious. That's what I'm thinking about. Books be damned. That's what's behind us anyway. That's the background. That's the Library of Alexandria right there. We don't forget things, y'all. We always
Yeah, true.
comes back. Tie in with the Akashic records and re-download it.
If you only in nature, it's much more clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say booty no more. That's it. Done. That's it.
Yeah. This is more important thing.
We'll put the,
We're not on
the
there.
face app war aside.
Reptilian overlord level,
Right. Right.
except for the fact that we're using Facebook. In the
And we're literally
hypocrites.
helping to sell pharmaceutical advertisements so they can get more butt diagnostics. Like that's what they're doing with the ad money.
Mhm.
We're here helping the oppressor, but that's where we are. This
Yeah.
is the state of human evolution.
I know. Every
don't
day
have
all
a
day
choice,
long, I'm
Jackie. Yeah.
like, wow, slavery's real, and we just accept it like every day. It's insane.
But it's okay. You can be okay with slavery today. You just can't be okay with slavery 300 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't be
Exactly.
okay with slavery 600 years ago. I mean, you can be okay with slavery 600 years ago. You just got to have an issue with slavery 300 years ago. But then that's going to end us in another conversation.
But no, it's crazy. It's crazy how hypocritical we are. We really are going to have to make a decision one time to give up our creature comforts to actually really detach from this system because it's
Right.
shit.
You can have every last creature. I'm done. I'm done. Give me a tent and a few pages from a good book, and I'm done. I'll go find some food on my side of the mountain.
Yeah.
I think our attachment to them is much more dangerous than our possession of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
If that makes
True.
sense.
True.
Yes, it
Yeah.
did.
It's
Well,
our
I think
attachment
we've
that
crossed-
causes suffering.
Yeah, but I think we've crossed the threshold. I think that people hate life in this old normal, and they're really going to hate life in the new normal. I think they're so disgusted with there's so little human freedom that antidepressants are the way. I mean, depression is the default. That's not the exception anymore. And I think once you have to, I don't know, clean out your composting toilet and grow your own food, but you get some semblance of freedom back, I think you'd be happier, significantly happier in nature doing those things, living on dirt floors than living on wall-to-wall carpet or hardwood floor and hating every aspect of your life, pretending to people that you're okay with it. Posting on social media how fantastic it is while you're popping Xanax and Prozac just to get up in the morning. I think the hardest life you could think of, homesteading, is happier than the easiest life you can think of as a billionaire. Because it's all artificial. It's all fake. We weren't designed to be enslaved to this system.
No,
we were designed to be in nature and be free.
Right.
That's ancient knowledge for you. Oh, I was going to show y'all something earlier. I was looking for a shaman background because I was like, yeah, this is funky. Friday, we get in the zone and we resonate. Ancient, blah, 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 blah. Stop talking about the nonsense that's happening in the stupid world. And so, who's that? You're supposed to turn your phone off, man. What you doing?
It's going to be off right now.
That was the secret love affair song.
Area code 800 phone number. I'm guessing it's a telemarketer.
No, she got you. Not buying it.
Right. Here come the beams from Beaufont. Shit, I'm in trouble now.
I'm just telling you, women, they spend time learning these things. They know our ringtone. They know like, okay, that's one of his buddies. That's something like, they got a scheme and they know. And it's like,
and then it's all,
that's a sexual thing. Who is that on the phone? She got you, John. What's her name? Lisa? Shaniqua? Who you got? All right, I'm sorry.
Nobody. My cat. You want to meet my cat? She's around here now. No, she's around.
Cat,
she's taking a nap.
Your cat texted you, all right.
She's got a phone.
That was your little kitty. That was your kitty texting, like, Johnny, it's Friday.
It would be more like, don't you think it's time to feed me, asshole? Exclamation point. Yeah. Actually, she wouldn't do that. She's a Leo, by the way. She's a Leo, and my God, is she Leo. She's very affectionate, but she's got really great boundaries. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Yes, I want to do that. Kind of a deal. So she's adorable.
I was not talking about any of the kitties in the house. That's not.
Can we change the subject, please?
You tried.
1, 2, 3, start.
No, there are no kittens in my life.
I'm just saying that, American women, you're not gonna get. You might get it past some of the other women, the other kind of American women. They're just waiting to sniff out a fool.
I'm gonna start dating, a lady Sasquatch here pretty soon. I think so. Because I'm gonna be out there in the forest with the Neanderthals.
I told you that, brother. I'll take the Sasquatch. If she knows how to, we can get together and sharpen some sticks. I'm okay with foot fur. She can have a little furry feet between her toes. As long as she know how to sharpen that steak, the Bill Gates and them come around trying to stick things at people. Oh no, I'm okay. As long as she got a strong back, she can raise chickens. You got to get past the fur on the toes. Ain't nothing wrong. But let me show you this. Seriously, let me show you. I was doing an image search for shaman because I wanted to put a background on here.
Okay, yeah, let's bring this back around.
Thank you.
And I think this is. I didn't start. You started. You pulled that woman stuff. That was not me. You was the. We need to call them out, sisters.
Yeah.
We got them. Look,
I made a joke and you rhyme with it.
Really?
Part for the Women's Society.
A guy around here ran with a joke. Wow.
All right, I guess it's Friday.
All right, shut up.
It's Friday. Let me show you this. So I did a quick search for shaman. I was looking for a background. Look what happened.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Are you seeing it? I did a search for shaman. Are you seeing it?
Oh
my God. Do you see this?
Yes.
What's happening?
That's
So
an
this is their
insult for the
first hit.
shamans.
That's an insult.
Wow.
And a,
That's really,
Really,
that's-
yeah,
that's awful.
yeah.
that is really an
That's-
insult.
This is where we are. This
Yes.
is why the aliens come here.
Always
This is why
misinformation.
the first
Yeah, that's
4
crazy.
hits, and I guess they're calling him the QAnon shaman. We are in so much trouble.
Gerard, it's almost as if they don't want people studying real shamanism.
No, they don't.
That's it.
Yeah, they want to
Mhm.
mislead people in
Right.
a direction they shouldn't go.
It's
Yep.
embarrassing.
Mhm.
So I can get a shaman picture. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, back to center. Now we're gonna get serious. What are we talking about?
Initiation.
Yes. You know the book. Okay.
Not the booty.
Right.
Hey,
So
do you know how bad it is when I have to pull it in? I have to reel it in.
But it was a rough week. Susan, you gotta give people some time. It's a rough week. We went from your post about lidocaine and booty play to booty flies. It was a rough week. Then the face apps. Oh, it was hard. It was hard. Oh my God, it was a rough week. So people just
Yeah,
gotta
I know.
get it
I
out.
had 2 weeks off the Matrix, and then I had to go back,
right.
waking up at 3:30 in the
Right.
morning and watching the whole Matrix. Like, oh my God, like this is a slave camp, and I can't believe people can't see it. Like, I can't believe half of them are happy being slaves. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is our world. And I was thinking, 50% of the population, 50% of the population is literally like slaves. Oh, this is
They
crazy.
want more. Protect us more. Protect
No,
us.
I mean, like, they're like field slaves, and then there's like 20% that's like house slaves. 10%. There's a hierarchy on the plantation.
Mhm.
There you
It's
go.
terrible.
Well, I'm just gonna let y'all
Yes,
know. If we don't pull up as a
astrology
species,
has a scientific. Who did say Olivia astrology has a scientific validity. Very well.
Yeah, it does.
It's not. You're totally wrong, Olivia. It's you have to research better. It has a very deep
Olivia.
and from the deep ancient times.
that could be an interesting topic too. Uh-oh. Jonathan froze. Hold on. That could be a topic. So is going into
There I am.
the scientific validity
Aliens got me.
of where. Well, yeah, sometimes the aliens got to get you. I mean,
Sometimes.
it's funny. I might be the most.
Almost.
Huh?
Okay, the richest people in the world have astrologers. Okay. The Catholic
And
Church has astrology and had an astrologer. And they probably still do. They just don't talk about
And
it.
they use it on.
Yeah.
They use it in
Every
ancient India.
president. Yeah.
They
Every
use it in
president.
Egypt.
Yeah. Every president. Every.
Yeah, it's in
there
the
was
book.
generals-
Donna.
Yeah. Before
From
we went to war.
initiation, she talks about the importance of astrology and how it works.
Yeah, but my point is that all those people in power use astrology, but it has no validity at all. They don't do things for no reason. Those people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kings
I
and
guess-
Yeah,
Kingdoms.
kings. Yeah,
they are the kingdoms are matched with astrology. Empires are increased with astrology through the help of astrology.
Yeah.
I'm probably the least astrological person in this video. I don't even know all the astrological signs. But this is an ancient wisdom video. And to me, astrology is a part of that. And I think I mentioned this to, how many names? He has too many profile names. I mentioned this to Paul before, right? I trust the ancients over everything on television. I trust them over everything Rockefeller's science allows in the public domain. Because we know that, everything in the public domain is controlled. And astrology.
Quite a few of the things that they said have been validated or vindicated in the last 40, 50 years.
Yeah, and we started like in
Scientifically.
Yeah, all these civil wars, all these riots. You can take the dates, all the same. Like now, all this. It's just literally the same. It's not in the same way, but it's
Yeah.
It is so. It's well from 7,000 years ago. It was transfer from another age. We are going now to the Aquarius age. It was, and then before we went from what is before Pisces, Aries, Egypt. Aries was Egypt, the ray of Egypt. Then we go to Pisces. Yeah, it's so clear, and you can see it. Aries was Egypt. What you see about the temples, all those. If you go visit Egypt,
Aries, that's, you look at the age of Aries, and it was all about warfare and
Yes.
courage and
yes, and the statues next
masculine strength. Rome, Egypt, all the Persian, the various Persian and Assyrian empires all took place during Aries.
Yep.
All of it did.
I have to invoke quantum physics because one, nobody can explain it and we don't understand it. So quantum physics went from this perspective. If we are energy, we're not biology, we're energy. And when we're born, we're affected by the energy that is about. Like Rebecca just posted, that moons affect the tides. So if the moon affects the tides and the sun is energy and it promotes energy down to this planet, when you were born does, I think, have significance. I think it does. And the ancients thought it did. And there's very little that we understand. And the other thing I would answer when you said that is that religion and astrology are based on belief.
No.
Everything on this planet is based on belief.
Yeah.
I believe you math things as well. But
in regards to belief, I want to point out what Christ Henderson typed in a comment just a minute ago. She says, "I've grown up with astrology my whole life from experience. It's valid."
Yeah, experience.
And that reminds me of something that Jung said at the very end of his life, one of the last interviews he did, and it was with Mike Wallace. And Mike Wallace asked him if he believed in God. And Jung said no. And Wallace was taken aback. No? You're joking, right? No, I'm not. And there was a pause, and then Jung explained, I don't need to believe in God. I know God.
Yes.
And so belief in astrology is, if anything, a means to an end of living magic every day. Either you do or you don't. And really, we're all living it. It's just a question of whether or not we know it.
Yes.
I think.
And you can do the research by yourself. You have to be willing to research by yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just you have to
put yourself on the line, right? You have to put yourself on the line. You have to engage yourself with living in a very serious way.
Religion. I mean, they're all prophets of who came, and they base their truth with their connection with higher truths. And man-made religion of it, but it's not. It started not as religion. Jesus didn't create Christianity. No. Muhammad didn't create Muslim.
Right.
Shiva didn't create Hinduism. People do that. But the things what they said, and they try to make a concept, but then it gets dead.
Right. Yeah. It loses its force, loses its vital energy, its transformative power. Yeah,
you have to read Krishnamurti, then that. He explains it very well.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed reading Krishnamurti.
Yes, I love it when you read it.
Yeah, he's clear. He's very clear.
For me, it also is about keeping an open mind, and I don't close my mind to anything. I accept that I've been indoctrinated to believe a lot of things, and I'm now exposing them all to more information and more people and more perspectives. And because the opposite of having an open mind is having a closed mind. And I've been ignorant in too many areas in my life, and I'm never going to be that again. And so I open my mind to a lot of things. And what I think Christ posted before, that, just in having a few friends that I would trust, certainly more than I would trust anything on a damn television or in science class or from Rockefeller Medicine,
Mhm.
I would trust my friends over anything that's accepted popular in the public domain, especially at a time when people got on face diapers waiting in line for booty swabs. I would trust everything everybody else has to say. I keep an open mind about everything. So, but let's keep it going. I don't want to.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless you guys want to, I mean, we can do ancient wisdom from an astrology perspective. I love learning. That's why I like hanging out with y'all in the comments. Is I like to learn, and I like to keep my mind open and accept I don't know anything.
Yeah. Gerard, you and I, they can talk astrology, and you and I can go to our notebooks and pens and take notes because they know that shit really well.
That's the problem. They know too damn much. That's why I'm saying they haven't dumbed it down for me yet. That's the problem, Jonathan. Every time I watch them on Friday, I was sitting here and I just get glassy eyed. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Y'all talk about houses. Like going back and forth. My house is in Cancer, and Cancer's in my booty, and this is that. And Scorpio's in
That's Scorpio, buddy.
You know, it's like y'all put me in calculus, and I haven't even had addition yet. And I'm like sitting here like everybody's going, and I don't want to mess up the flow, be the stupid one in the room. So I just sat back. I was trying to pick up what I could. I try to pick up what I could, but you know, when people who are smarter than you on a certain topic are talking, I usually just shut up because you know, I don't want to ruin the flow. But I admit, I'm the most astrology ignorant person in the room, second to Paul. I'm in the back of the class, but my mind is open. My mind is open, so my mind is right. So anyway. No, the conversation can go anywhere you want. I just love everything ancient wisdom. Anything that we're not supposed to know, we're not supposed to talk about, or got burned up in the Library of Alexandria, I think it's funky, and I'd love to talk a lot more.
Well, since we were just talking about astrology or whatever, can I read the universal and the particular real quick? Oh wait, how many pages? It's short. Oh yeah, I'm not reading that part. Okay, it's short. It's because we're just talking about astrology. It's on that. It's from the Radigan. Okay. Atum arranged the constellations of the zodiac in harmony with the movements of nature and charged them with producing all the forms of the animals. When these gods had used their different powers, there emerged 4-footed beasts, creeping things, fishes and winged birds, grass and flowering herbs, all according to their different natures, and each containing the seed of the continuance of their species. Every living thing has its own unique form, given to it by the power of the zodiac. This form is appropriate to its species, yet each is individual. The human race, for example, shares a common universal form by which we know that a man is a man, yet all human beings have a distinctly different particular form, of which no two are entirely alike. Each particular form is unique because it inhabits a unique time and place. The particular forms change in every moment of every hour as the gods of the zodiac revolve in their celestial circle. The universal forms do not change, just as the constellations remain the same. But instant by instant, the particular forms transform as the sphere of heaven changes as it turns. The sky is wet then dry, cold then hot, bright then dark, but these rapidly alternating forms are all subsumed under the universal unchanging form of the sky. The earth is ever changing, generating, producing, yielding different crops, yet it remains the earth. Water may be standing or flowing, but it is still water. Am I here?
Yes.
I can hear you now. I think I was out for a while.
Yeah,
okay, I heard something go off.
Just
okay.
Yeah, I was out for a while, but
okay, it's almost. The human body is an earthly temple, constructed by the power of the zodiac, which makes myriad forms from simple archetypes. There are 12 signs of the zodiac, and the forms they produce fall into 12 divisions. They are, however, inseparably united in their action. Nature makes the human body so that its constitution resonates with the patterns of the stars in such a way that they mutually affect one another. When we are born, the planetary gods who are at that time on duty as ministers of birth take charge of us. These particular powers that change according to the rotation of the planets make their way in through the body and mold the shapes of our souls. They penetrate our nerves and marrow, veins and arteries, even our innermost organs.
Yeah. Voila.
So this was written like thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And it's also in that book from 3,000 years initiation. That is a part of astrology, and it goes very deep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did study it, Paul, then you didn't study it well.
So,
Yeah,
so,
no.
you know
Olivia.
what I get from that. So one, I love the Hermetica for the fact that the texts in there resonate with the world's popular religion, showing that there was an ancient root religion or belief system that forged many of them. Number one. Two, I think of it from an epigenetic perspective. So what you just read, I heard almost solar energy, solar system epigenetics, right?
Like interweaving of frequencies and vibrations, right?
Right.
Because that's what we are, right?
Right. So epigenetics is the study of why, of environment forming the genes or determining which genes are activated, right? So the environment determines what genes get expressed through your DNA. And so if the chemical environment, the biological environment, right, the soda you drink, the NyQuil you take, the mRNA that you pop in your body, if all of those things control the epigenetic expression of your genes, does energy. And if you think that Pepsi Cola affects your genes, your epigenetic makeup, and you don't think the solar system, the energy coming from all the different suns, the environment, what's on Earth at the time, if air affects your genes, everything affects your genes. And of course, energy does. So what I just heard from you is an explanation in the Hermetica that they understood that the environment forms the person. The same way we know chemically today that biologically your environment forms you.
And even energy, right? Because if you're growing up around people who are oppressive and abusive, and you're going to be a different person than if you go around people that have positive, uplifting energy. So it's all so connected. I wish we could figure it out.
Yeah,
really do.
He just has to figure. I mean, he or she has to figure it out. So come on, John, and go. Otherwise, go to your.
Right. So we talked about reading chapter 37 from Initiation, which is titled The Initiation. This is the chapter that discusses her initiation in Egypt. Okay. Sorry, let me get that out of the way. Okay, there we go. I lie in the stone coffin and peer into the darkness. Darkness? It's not really darkness. For in the middle of my field of vision, I observe a greenish phosphorescent light. Around it, points of light seem to flash up and then disappear. I watch these points of light and try to guess where they come from and where they are going. Suddenly, I notice that the points of light, when they appear, aren't as close together as they were. On the contrary, right in the middle, where the greenish phosphorescent light was before, there's an empty space that none of the points of light approaches. They leave more and more space around this spot, which, because of the complete absence of light in it, is a pitch black hole through which I peer into nothingness. Then I notice 2 points of light that appear in this total dead darkness. Slowly they come closer and stare at me like 2 eyes. I don't see the eyes. They have neither light nor color, and yet I'm obliged to see them. I know that 2 eyes are staring at me. These 2 eyes do not belong to a body. They are centers of force, of streams of energy, which take effect invisibly. These dim, black energies attack the points of light. The points of light are sucked up by this force, destroyed. A contour appears, creating a boundary around this empty dark hole that radiates this invisible force. Before my horrified eyes, there gradually appears a face, the eerie features of a monster, a silhouette that is only recognizable because where it is, there is absolute nothingness, a negative image. I just know this disembodied monster is evil itself. I know it. I've seen its horrible grimaces occasionally glowering through human faces as the expression of those faces. Now the cause of that expression, the being itself, without a human face, without a body, is here. Or was it always present and I just didn't notice it? This bodiless face resembles the head of a goat. The silhouette clearly shows the form of horns over a long, pinched face that ends with a terrible goatee. Or perhaps are all these shapes only radiations of invisible forces? The being's eyes, set so close together, have a terrifying effect, like bottomless maelstroms that irresistibly pull everything down, down, down to complete annihilation. Through these two baleful eyes, the monster now radiates all his fearful powers upon me and into me. These awful eyes bore into me and through my entire being, swallowing me irresistibly into themselves as if I were being sucked into a gigantic maelstrom. Absolute panic seizes my heart. I feel myself turning limp and lifeless out of sheer terror. Coming closer and closer, his horrible gaze, his horrible eyes get more and more penetrating. I can feel how this satanic being is it Satan himself. It's important to remember the translation of the word Satan simply means the opposition, that which opposes us, that the force of nature or consciousness or the universe, whatever you want to call it, that is opposing our growth and our change. I can feel how this satanic being is Satan. Is it Satan himself is forcing me into his power, into his sovereignty? The monster spreads out over me, swallows me. In a moment, I feel I am no longer myself. I am it. I feel its horrible features in my face, its immaterial body in my body, its devilish streams of current flowing like blood in my veins. This hellish, fiendish sensation turns my whole being cold and stiff. My body curls up in horrible cramps. And deep within me, it talks to me, without words, without the power which produces words, through the meaning of words. Now I've got you. Now you're in my power. Now you see you haven't been able to crowd me out of your consciousness. In spite of your efforts to do so, you belong to me anyway. Now, you and I are one. There's nothing to separate us anymore. I am the I in you, and you are the I in me. You are subject to my law of cooling, contraction, and solidification. Do you feel how your body is curling up, how you're drawing your knees up all the way to your chest? They're crossed now, and your feet are pressed close to your body, as close as if the soles of your feet were joined to your body. Your arms are crossed in front of your breast. Your hands are curled up into fists, pregnantly as if they were joined to it. Now your head is dropping down onto your chest, pushing itself close between your fists, closer, still closer, just as if you were in your mother's womb. That's right. And now you've shrunk and shriveled into just one piece. You're getting colder and harder until you become a little oval piece of stone. A piece of stone, rigid, hard, and dead. But you still have your consciousness and know that you're dead, that you've solidified into this piece of stone, that you are this piece of stone. You're walled up in it, dead for endless time, for timeless eternity. Look around and see the mountains reaching up to the sky. Do you see all these rocks and stones and boulders? Don't just look at them. Look into them. Look into their being. Can you see that all these stones are petrified but conscious beings like yourself, exposed to burning sunshine, raging storms, and splitting frost. Every creature, every animal, every human being walks on you and all these other stones. Spring torrents drag you into wild waters, and you rub and scour each other in these whirling rapids, endless time, timeless eternity. Horrified, I experience everything the evil one says. This is hell indeed. Alive and conscious, yet locked up and immovable, grown into this tomb with no possibility of giving so much as a sign of life. To be a heavy, dead stone. To be. No, I am not that. I am only imprisoned, entombed in this stone, but I am not the stone. Myself is not matter. I am the dimensionless self, the spirit beyond any concept of space. And with the inner strength of the spirit, just as I learned to speak with it in my telepathic exercises, without body, without mouth, speaking in spirit, I soundlessly scream at the monster, no, I am not you, and you are not I. We are forever separated in our beings, for you are death, and I am life. We can never be identical with each other. You with your law of contraction and solidification. You're the negative, the reflected image, the caricature of the eternal source of all life, of divinity resting within itself. You're not a horrible phantom. You're not a monster. You're not the evil one. You have no independent existence. The divine self created you and goes on eternally creating you whenever it clothes itself in a material envelope, in a body. You are the inner being of matter. You are the law that maintains matter. So you have power over my body because you had to construct it on the command of myself when I was born into this material world and became a person. But you have no power over me, no power over my creative self. For you are nothing else but the law of matter come to life through my spirit. Not I am you, but I am that I am. And you are also what I am. Your essence is contraction, and on the spiritual plane, in consciousness, contraction manifests itself as fear. And you must disappear because I don't fear. The effect of my unspoken, soundless words is terrifying. It gets pitch dark around me, and the mountains cave in with a deafening, thunderous roar. Rocks and boulders fall apart. The earth opens. Complete chaos rages about me. Only I stand firmly on my feet in this cataclysm. As things become quiet again, and I slowly return to my senses, I realize I've just had a horrible dream. How good it is to awaken from such a nightmare. My first sensation is one of extraordinary hunger and thirst, but I don't want to waste time with eating and drinking, for my goal is God. I want to get on as far as possible. I look about me. I am in a spacious room illuminated by soft reddish light. Pleasant, well-mannered people offer me tempting delicacies and beautiful dishes and heavenly drinks in magnificent golden vessels. They try to persuade me to eat and drink with them. I smile. The pleasures of the palate were never a temptation for me. Why should I permit myself to be delayed by hunger and thirst on my path to God? I thank them for their friendly invitation and go on. Singularly enough, I no longer have any sensation of hunger or thirst, but I still can't quite make out where I am and what's going on around me. It is apparent, however, that everyone around me is in constant, chaotic motion. Another one of my first impressions of this place is the strange smell in the air. The smell of overheated human bodies. not exactly unpleasant, but nevertheless repugnant to me. Little by little, my eyes grow accustomed to the subdued light. I am in some kind of an underground cave where great numbers of men and women are lounging about pell-mell on sofas or rocking and careening about, holding each other in tight embraces, dancing together and making extremely odd movements. I watch them with growing amazement. Are they drunk or mentally deranged? To be sure, I have seen animals during mating season when nature is creating a new generation. But even when they are so keyed up that their whole bodies tingle with and tremble with passion, they never lose their dignity. They never carry on like these people here. And the priestesses, too, who serve in the temple of love, fulfill their duties with a noble attitude of spiritual dedication, because they know in doing so, they are laying an offering upon the altar of divine love. How can people fall so low that they debase the supremely divine act of love and make it an end in itself? After all, these are respected, reputable people, made in the image and likeness of God. And yet, they act as if they've lost their reason. I recognize some of them as people of rank, statesmen, and ladies of the court, but they don't see me. They have neither eyes nor ears for anything or anyone besides themselves. The outside world ceases to exist for them. Their imagination. They talk with each other too, but it seems as if these men and women have forgotten that speech is a spiritual manifestation of man. They use speech to say the most impossible, completely illogical things. For example, I hear one man, as he dances with his partner in a tight embrace, ask her again and again, "Are you mine?" "Yes, darling, all yours," the woman answers, and they go on dancing. A little while later, the same couple dances past me, and I hear the man, with his eyes half closed, asking the woman again, perhaps for the 100th time, "Are you mine?" "Yes, darling, I am," the woman answers just as untiringly. What's the matter with them? Isn't it enough to ask a question once and get an answer? Why do they have to repeat it 100 times? And how senseless it is to ask a person such a question. A person belongs only to himself. He is a free being with an inalienable right of self-determination. So, how does this man come to think he can possess a woman? It's scarcely possible to possess a lion if even these regal animals don't give up their independence. How can this man get the idea the woman belongs to him? And why is he asking her 100 times? Is he mentally ill? And perhaps the woman who goes on answering his nonsense too. And perhaps all these other men and women who are behaving in just as impossible a manner. At this juncture, a tall, broad-shouldered man steps up to me. Seemingly, he can read my thoughts, for he replies to my inner questions. "Beautiful lady, don't you know that this is love?" Love? I certainly do know love. It is a beautiful, noble sacrament when two living creatures love each other with absolute devotion, but not with mere passionate desire for possession. But in the hearts of these people, I see no love. I see only that they've lost their senses, that passion, this fever which dulls and deadens those finest, most sensitive nerve centers, created for transmitting spiritual revelations, holds them completely in its power. These people should be saved and awakened from their semi-conscious condition. I step up to a very young woman, seize her arm, and shout into her ear, "Wake up! Don't let your consciousness be dulled and darkened by passion. You are spirit, and not a body. Don't allow your body to debase you. Don't let yourself be dragged down lower than an animal. Wake up, do you hear? Wake up and get out of here. Save yourself before it's too late." The young woman peers at me as if through a veil, like a sleepwalker. "Leave me alone," she says. "I want to be happy." And with that, she goes on dancing. Oh, how blind. How could she possibly hope to find happiness through a physical embrace without spiritual content? Happiness is something one experiences in consciousness. Happiness is in the self. How could she possibly hope to find happiness through mere trifling play of the body? Now just forget your intellect a while, says the man. You're not qualified to judge because you've never tried it. Dance with me and you'll see for yourself. So saying, he embraces me and drags me out into the whirling mass of people, acting just as foolishly as all the other people. I dance with him and observe myself with great curiosity. Will I too become as intoxicated, as carried away by the close contact as these poor, demented people about me? But the only thing I notice is how extremely unpleasant I find the close proximity of this man. His breath is hot, and I find it very revolting for him to be breathing into my face and down my neck. Exhaled air is used up air. Why should I be inhaling air that has already been used up? Then too,
I'm sorry, ancient wisdom. Ancient with hashtag face diapers. That's it right there.
Gold star right there.
Hey, you know what, man? Hello.
He's here every night.
Oh, I love it.
That's good, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And
So to
accurate.
the point. So to the point.
Yeah, it was spot on.
Don't use
Really.
used up air.
All right, let me find this. I lost the spot. That was great. Okay, there we go. Why should I be inhaling air that has already been used up? Then, too, I find the odor of his body and his perspiration most unpleasant. I want fresh air. I want to get away from this repugnant place. As I try to get away from him, the man suddenly changes. What's that? The man suddenly changes. In a trice, he turns into a gigantic, fiery, flaming spirit. He no longer has a body. He is only a mighty flame, trying to force me into subjection. He surrounds me, trying to force himself into my mouth, into my body. But the power I radiate, the power of my clear and sober consciousness keeps him away. He cannot reach me. He reacts by growing hotter, greater, more eager. He takes on tremendous proportions, spreading throughout the whole room, devouring all these passion-drunk people in his consuming fire. Nobody is left. Nothing more. Only a sea of flames devouring and consuming everything. But I stand untouched, unscathed, and I am that I am. Then I hear a thunderous voice from out of the flames. You have won. You have passed your test, but watch out. You haven't won because you're stronger than I. You can't be stronger because I'm the fire of your own self. You just didn't come alight because your purity and your lack of experience stand between you and me. Your body and its senses are still sleeping. That's what's protected you. But watch out, we'll meet again. We'll meet again. And with that, everything disappears. Fire, room, smoke, everything. And I find myself alone again. We'll meet again? I repeat these last words. I'm not afraid of you. Even if my body had burst into flaming passion, this would not have touched myself. I stand above everything physical. But what was that? Didn't it sound like a scornful laugh? I looked around to see where this voice may have come from. So doing, I noticed that I'm in a meadow as green as emerald, and a strange form is approaching. It's the form of a handsome, well-built man, half concealed by a veil of mist. I'd like to see this mist. I'd like to see the splendid form it hides. I'd like to chase the mist away. but I can't. But the man interests me, and so I ask, who are you? Then the handsome man comes close, and with a voice that makes a deep impression on me, he whispers into my ear, oh, my sweet beloved, I've been looking for you for a long, long time, for an eternity, ever since we fell out of the Garden of Eden and became separated from each other. At last, I found you. Come into my arms. Come, lay your sweet little head upon my breast. Come and let us unite in divine unity, our beings in heavenly bliss. How wonderful that you haven't yielded up to the animal urge of the body. How glorious that you've kept yourself pure and untouched for me. You belong to me and I belong to you. We supplement each other completely. Do you feel the irresistible power of attraction that links us and draws us closer and closer together? Come, let us unite in love, you dearest of creatures, my one and only heavenly bride. I love you. I hear his voice. I see his manly stride. I feel a tremendous force radiating from him to me. And yet he's strange. I don't know him. How could he be my complementary half? No. One never finds the complementary half outside oneself. Ptahhotep says our complementary half is always behind the manifested form as a mirrored image in the unmanifested state. No. No human being can be my complementary half. And why is this man veiled in a dense mist? I don't know who you are. I answer him. But whoever you are, you're mistaken. You're not my complementary half. And you've had to look elsewhere for yours if you think you'll find it anywhere in the outside world. No one can find his complementary half anywhere except within himself. In the world around us, it's only possible to find projected pictures similar to one's true complementary half. But neither you nor I can become complete by virtue of a picture, a projection. Only the divine unity of the self can bring blissful happiness. I'll find my complementary half within myself. To find your complementary half within yourself, says the handsome man, would mean that you, in your consciousness, were already identical with the divine self. How do you expect to experience the consequences before the cause? The divine self is the paradisical state of unity, through which you can only return through becoming one with your complementary half. How do you expect to achieve this without me, without your complementary half? You're forgetting that you are half of a unit and I am the other half. We are the living reflected images of each other, and we belong together. You carry me about in your subconscious, just as I carry you in mine. And even without wanting to, we seek each other with the irresistible attractive force that comes from our belonging together in the paradisical state. Throughout ages and ages of time, our fate brings us together again and again until we make each other conscious within ourselves and experience each other completely in body as well as in soul. Only in this divine identity can we really be the total consciousness of the whole, of the higher self. How do you expect to be able to return to paradisical unity without me? How do you think you could escape from facing the fact that we also belong to each other on the earthly plane? How do you expect to get the experience you absolutely need without me? But I refuse to allow myself to be influenced. No matter how much you try to convince me, I still don't want you. As far as I'm concerned, it's enough to know that you are present in the unconscious part of myself, and I only want to get acquainted with you within myself, but not in the outer world. Get on your way and let me get on mine. At these words of mine, the handsome man recedes and begins to evaporate like a morning mist in the sunshine. And from farther and farther away, his voice comes back to me, this voice that has made such a deep impression on my heart. I'll go on looking for you on the earthly plane. looking, looking. His voice fades away in the distance, and suddenly all is quiet. But there's still something I want to know. So I shout after him. Why is there such a mist about you, so heavy it keeps me from seeing you face to face? From far away in the distance, I hear a voice fading out as if it were the echo of my own heart. The heavy mist is covering your eyes, not me. It's your lack of experience. That's what's protecting you from me. It has helped you resist me, but we'll meet again. Meet again. There's still a lot I'd like to ask, and I run towards the spot where he's disappeared. See him no more. I turn around to go back to the beautiful meadow, but I can't find the way. There is a mist covering everything wherever I look. No matter how hard I try, I just can't see through it. Yet I know I'm no longer alone. I hear voices of people around me, and I know that there is some kind of a relationship between these people and myself. Various events follow each other in which I play an important part. I hear voices speaking to me, and again I recognize the voice that spoke to me from out of the misty figure and made such a deep impression on me. I realize that this being, in various different forms, belongs to me again and again. But how and where? What are these voices all saying? And what am I answering? What are those voices all saying? I can't quite fathom it. It's as if the mist were covering my eyes, or my ears as well as my eyes. Now and again, I see something, but before I can recognize what it is, it disappears again in the mist. Once I see a tower, and I know that someone is living within it as a prisoner. He has the same voice as that of the misty figure, and I hurry to try to smuggle in something to eat. I am the daughter of the gatekeeper, and I have to watch out that no one notices me. But an overpowering force draws me toward the prisoner. I know I must help him. Then everything disappears again in the mists above me. As I try to get my bearings again, I suddenly see large colored stone tiles just in front of my face. I wash and scrub them until they're clean. Then again in the mist, I hear a voice that sounds like my own, asking over and over, "Have you found my child?" I get the impression that an old decrepit body, which somehow or other is related to myself, is very, very tired. Then this strange feeling disappears. And suddenly disappears too. Once again, I am standing in the green meadow. The air is fresh, the sun is shining, but it's not unbearably hot. How strange. Never before have I noticed that it wasn't hot at midday, and now there's even a gentle, pleasant breeze. There's something more that's strange too. As the mists disappear and I see the ground below my feet again, I notice that my feet, as well as the ground they stand on, are much farther down than they ever have been before. That means I've grown much taller. How peculiar. At my age, a person doesn't grow anymore. So how is it possible for me to have grown taller? And what a remarkable dress I have on. It's really funny. And where are my sandals and my hands? How very much they've changed. Everything is so peculiar, as surprising as if I were not myself, as if I were dreaming. But my consciousness is clear. I'm awake. I'm not dreaming. I look around. Not far away, I see a forest visible among the trees. But what a strange house. The place seems familiar to me. I've seen such trees in all my life, nor such a house. No. The house on a hill. As I go the steps, I've never seen a house, and you.
I'm done. Aliens are coming for you again, bro.
As I enter the house, I know. Are they?
Are they?
That syndrome stuff.
It's yeah. You are not allowed to.
Okay, I think that's better.
Yeah.
No, you're frozen.
Now you're frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not better. It's not better at all. While he tries to reset the Wi-Fi, can y'all take this long big bag of snakes and like straighten it out for me a little bit? I'm struggling with pulling out some context. Is there some context we should do?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you better ask.
I feel like I'm in a love story.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I'm listening to. I'm missing a part of a love story or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're about to get it on, but nobody got any.
I know, it was very sexual.
He had a sexy pickup line. The brother was on it. He should have got some. He should have got some of that and that, but he didn't get none. And so it seemed like
it was, yeah. No, but it was like really spiritual. And then there were some parts where I was like, what is happening?
Oh,
No, she goes to different kinds of stages. She has to experience, and it's like she has to not be tempted. Otherwise, she will not go through the initiation. So first, she's the darkness, is the matter. So if she identifies with the matter, then she would have already be lost. So she overcomes it. Then she sees those people making love with each other, and what is this all about? And it's about lust and not about love. And she's not attracted, so she overcomes it. Then she is in the. Then she sees that her second half, which is her true half, but she does not really know it or does not get it yet. But because she says, no, I'm spirit. I'm whatever I am is in me. It's not outside myself. But that man in the mist is actually her second half, but she doesn't recognize it. And it's her true twin flame, like I would say. She's a bit, because she's young, she's not married, and she doesn't experience like being in love with that love with man. So she says, no, in my teaching, I am the spirit. Nothing is real except what is within me. But she misses a part which she doesn't get yet, because that man who is talking to her is a real twin flame. And later on, she goes further and further because she sees her own life passing by, which she will relive. That's later on. And she always meets that same man, but she doesn't recognize it till when, now it's shortening. So between the many, many lives she has, they're always looking for each other. Like the twin flame is always looking for each other. And then in the life, when she's born now, because it's an autobiography from the one who writes it, in this life she meets again her man, that twin flame, but then she's in 1900. She's born in 1800, I think in 1874 or something. And then she meets the man, and then finally they come together after 3,000 years of ages. And then they meet each other. It's a very strong attraction, and they have a very, very happy life. But that is because she fails in the initiation, but we're not yet there.
Right. Were you kind of filling in some of the backstory?
She goes through the kind of temptations she has to overcome. Mm-hmm. And I said to them, the man in the veil is actually her twin flame, and it's not a temptation, but she doesn't recognize it at that time.
Right, because she can't see.
She can't see.
So, because I was taking it as like that is actually a part of her that she has to accept. It's not that; it's an actual other.
Yeah, that's her part, but she doesn't know that. She thinks it's still He didn't.
That's why twin flames are just magnetically drawn to each
Yes.
other, because
That's her male, her
Insane.
masculine self, but it's
Or masculine
projected in,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's
Right.
when you separate in the beginning, like the half of your part is somewhere else. I think everybody
Mm-hmm.
has it, but I don't know. When you're ready, you recognize it, and you cannot escape your twin flame. Maybe in this life, but in
Mhm.
some life they come together.
That sounds pretty threatening for the ignorant
Yeah.
people in the room. Can y'all explain what the hell is a twin flame? Does everybody have one?
I
Yeah,
think it's like a
everybody-
soulmate, basically.
And huh?
Everybody has one, but does not mean that you marry in this life or in life before that you married it. You must have I think everybody meets them, but not everybody recognizes them. But at some point in your awareness or in your ascent, you will recognize the twin flame.
A
Do you have to
soulmate.
do something to recognize them?
I think your heart will tell.
Your heart will tell you.
Something
You-
you cannot. That's the
Well,
only thing on your
it's,
mind when you.
It's like astrology.
Yes.
It's like magic. It's like astrology. Either you know it firsthand, or you don't.
Yeah, I think.
And it's like the line that the Oracle says to Neo in the first movie. Being the one is like being in love. You just know it. Balls to bones.
know it.
And nobody
Yeah, you
can
know.
tell you any differently.
Yeah, it's like you have a very high experience when you ascend, when you have deep meditation. And at one point you're in the light, and you say, "But did you go far?" You know it. You don't have to prove it because it's
Right.
just there. And I
Right.
think it's the same with twin flame.
Yeah. Mhm.
But many people miss falling in love is not always with your twin flame.
No.
Twin flame goes deeper and farther. But
That
it
is
is also falling in love. But you cannot escape it. You cannot escape it.
Right.
Now, is twin flame admissible in court? Like you just go home and tell your husband or wife, "Hey, listen, I thought you were it, but you know what? I
found my
went out.
twin flame.
I was at the bar. I was drinking. Did a little ass and some mushrooms. I don't know if that was a part of it, but I felt the connection, baby. I'm gonna have to leave you because this is my cosmic void. Are you supposed to be with the twin flame? Like, I'm trying to get some details. I want to know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Twin flame is not always. I think when you go through your lives, it's not always easy because if you have to evolve, and there is confrontations, and one pushes the other in the growth.
think,
So it might be not always pleasant, but at one point in your evolution, it is like pure harmony. That's what I don't know. I don't experience it.
I think Shakespeare left quite a few different blueprints for it in his plays, basically.
I think everybody has one, and maybe
I've
men.
never heard
several.
I've never heard of pleasantries when people talk twin flames. Every time I hear people talk about twin flames, it's drama and police and fighting and yelling and screaming and divorces and stuff. So is there a particular time? Are you supposed to both be enlightened? Do you always come together every lifetime? Can y'all be just friends and stuff? Or should you run
I think you meet each other every lifetime, but you don't know each life. That is what I believe.
Every life. Yeah.
Could be a good
Me
friend.
A good friend? Is it always a human? Could it be a pet? Could it be like a parakeet or a dog or something?
Yeah, okay.
Jiving Bowden, could he be in tune and he's sniffing to make sure that are you my twin?
He's sniffing out the soul.
That's it. I just had an image in my mind of Gerard like living in India, and he has a pet monkey named Beaufont.
Oh, that's what happened. That's on the book. I'm writing that down right now. That's on the bucket list. I'm gonna get me a monkey, and his name is gonna be Beaufont. I guarantee you. Oh, that's a done. A monkey's gonna be in the United States.
I'm gonna hear it for that one.
I do not want a sugar glider. I don't want them little cute monkeys. I want like just a nefarious one. One to just jump around, mess up the house, stick his finger in his butt and stuff. Like that's Beaufont right there. Get monkey, call it Beaufont. That's what the hell yeah. I need that. I need that in my life. Do you think Beaufont has a twin flame? You think God is that much of a turber?
You are tough
Well-
on Beaufont.
Wow. Wow.
I
He's not
know.
Actually,
I'm ready to
you know-
get Beaufont's back because he's very deep. I
Huh?
like Beaufont. I like,
Ain't it cake man?
I like Beaufont.
Ain't it
He's
cake man?
very deep.
No,
Yeah.
I don't like
I mean, I don't
Beaufont.
understand half the
know.
stuff he says, but the other half is very deep.
I don't like it. I don't like no. I don't like no damn Beaufont. What the hell? What kind of show is this? No, I love my brother, but my
Yes.
brother got issues. My brother
That's because Gerard gets the business end of him.
I get the business end, exactly.
His kicks.
You
He's
know,
a cuddly enigma.
so you tell me this lady out there making
He's a
his
cu-
cakes, they're gonna meet Beaufont.
A cuddly redneck teddy bear.
Yeah.
They're gonna get another make anus cakes and test them. They're gonna open a
All right.
bakery called Genitals. Genital goodies. All right, I'm sorry. I'm
What were
I think
what were we talking? What were we talking about?
But she's going.
Twin flames, right?
So she missed her recognize. She didn't recognize her twin flame.
Yeah.
In the initiation, she's still in the tomb. She is all it goes all. It's happening before her, but she's in her tomb, and she has to go through that experiences to overcome all those temptations. So you are not attached to the matter. But yeah, you have to go further because it's a lot.
Right.
Does Harsh have a twin flame?
What?
You think Harsh has one? You think it's like some little retarded monkey out there for Coco? You think she got a twin flame?
that's really mean because no.
No, it's not.
Coco-
Hell
No,
no.
it's
Coco's
no.
twin
What she's
flame.
done to me?
Yeah.
Coco?
Don't.
Have you seen the face app she has done to me? You know who she has me kissing and how? Are you kidding me?
Unfair.
That's me.
Yeah.
I didn't say the monkey was like doing stuff. Are you kidding me? Why are you defending everybody else but me? How could what is this? What the hell is this? Live streaming. I'm about to mute you. Are you y'all seeing this?
Talk about privilege. Mute me. I said, talk about privilege. You're going to censor me on live streams.
Playing privilege and stuff. So I'm curious. So, but now, could your twin flame be like around to teach you? Could like Paul Bradley be somebody's twin flame and he's here to teach her?
I feel bad for her, but yeah.
Oh, that's mean. Oh, that's mean. That's evil. See?
Come on, guys.
So, is it like I'm trying to be serious, y'all. I got serious questions.
Well,
y'all
I'm serious too.
I have
Okay.
questions.
I think
now, are you? How do you know?
Yeah, but
I think the question is, does everyone have a twin flame, or is it only some people?
It's not a new age thing because people in the new age they talk and they all about twin flames, but it's much more deep.
Right.
I mean, I don't
It's
believe in
speculative
that.
until you live it.
Until you live it, I think. But you have to read that book and you know how it's anyhow. But it's fun to talk about it. But it's But I think recognize that person later on when you're ready. But they're always around, I think. And
Why is it called a flame?
Well,
how come it's not like a twin cup of juice or something? How come it's a twin?
Well,
flame?
maybe in one lifetime they come together.
Because you were separated when the cosmos got created, masculine and feminine get separated. So also our masculine gets separated from our unity. So actually we're looking for that piece what is missing in us.
Yeah.
It's not like even a gender thing. It's not a gender thing. It's masculine, feminine. It's not masculine.
Yeah.
And it's not related to genitals. It's like a spiritual, energetic
energy. Yeah, it's frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think about it, right? So the Hermetica was saying how the planetary gods are, and every individual is unique and has a unique soul because of the time and place it was born. Well, there's 7 billion people on the planet. A lot of us were born in the same area. You know what I mean? So you're figuring there's different energies and stuff. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm saying it's like, you know, like your energy kind of vibrates the same as another energy. So like that union weaves a perfect another spiral.
Yeah, but
it's like a quantum entanglement.
But it's not about like the love that people are talking. It's like unity. It's not by falling in love. It's not about having attraction. I think it goes beyond though.
So it's learning lessons. It's learning lessons together. That's what it really is. And that's why, let me finish this point. They come together for a lifetime. They learn, they experience, they probably suffer a lot. Then they maybe go out and have a lifetime separately, digesting what they learned or putting something into practice in that lifetime apart from each other. And then they come back together again and they learn a new lesson.
Yeah, but it's not always,
and on until it's done, until it's finished.
But in her life, it's always what is at one point, it's always the man who, and they're always lovers in but I don't recognize them. But they're always attracted in many lives on the before she is in the life of this age, this century. They always find each other in different forms. One time they're beggars, another time they're so all that kind of stuff. But they meet each other all the time. So all the time. I do believe that every twin that you meet them, but if your awareness is not high, you don't recognize it.
You don't recognize it.
And I think most people don't recognize it, including us. I think, or maybe you do. I don't know. I don't recognize.
So
and sometimes you are really repulsed by it. Sometimes you don't want to be in that neighbor and with him or with her, whatever, of that energy. But because you have to learn something you're not ready for, could be also.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So sometimes it's good to stay married and just stay the hell away from your twin flame, or is it possible that you could stay married and know your twin flame and just kind of go out for coffee every now and then?
Everything is a lesson.
Or you're so attracted
Everything
that's
is
going to end up in the police getting called and somebody getting murdered or something.
Probably me. I tried to say everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson.
Yeah. It could be that you end killing up each other. That probably some twin flames killed each other in one lifetime.
Way back, I hope. Because that's terrible. I mean, imagine the karma.
Because it is
Gerard, I think we've all lived hundreds of thousands of lifetimes.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that woman
maybe not that many, but and I hope not all of them here on Earth.
No.
But
can you go to a site and find out how she killed you? Like, how did she do it?
Probably the one who killed you No. It's like this. The biggest effect are the people you hurt it most. That's what
I'm basing what I'm saying off of what I see in human history. And what I see in human history is a lot of people harming each other and a lot of suffering.
That's why it's good, like a Jewish marry a Palestine. That's why
that is us. That's us.
You have to mix with different, like even with the races. That race which hurted that race, they shouldn't interact with each other. That tribe with that tribe, because then it neutralizes the tension, and so it goes more smoothly.
Yeah, ain't no smoothing. I need to know how you feel, man. That's gonna be the first question. Like, I feel the burn. I feel it too. We're twin flame. Did you kill me? And how did you kill me? I need to know the detail. Is there a police report? Can I go back and like pull it up and just because I need to know. I know because you have to pay for that. No, I'm not interested in that. That's crazy. Not now.
All right.
It's probably best to so you got to make an analysis, right? You meet your twin flame and you just find out, are you jacked up? You maybe make them take a test or something, see if they got a face diper, social distancing.
All right. I know. All right, stop. No. Stop.
Maybe
this
is dream.
It's No, now I lost what I was going to say. No,
it's important information. You got to know.
It's okay. Now I get it. All right. So
why do I feel like we're all on
we suffer
timelines right now? Right?
I don't want to suffer.
I feel like someone's lagging.
I've done suffer life. I'm not doing that again. I'm done.
Never mind.
Right.
I'll just try to pay.
Well, am
I too ignorant for this video? Should I just go away and let you talk? Like
we suffer. What happened to Sue? There she is.
No, you went through, and now you don't have to suffer. You go in another life. No, it's when you.
What I think twin flames learn.
Yeah.
Is that imbalance just causes suffering. And that's what all of those past lives are about. Once they learn that, then they can come into union.
So you want to make sure that they're in balance and you're in balance with them in your life.
The universe helps you because it puts you through hell to get you to union. And all that pain that you feel helps you change. Because you got to work on yourself, and you know, and it's like two trains heading towards junction. Yeah,
I have I think I thought I had a twin flame. I don't know, but it was my first love, and it didn't work out, and anyhow, but. Every year I dreamed of him till it was in my 20s, till in my 50s. Many dreams every year, always trying to look for him. And always that strong feeling. And then my guru once said, I thought, now, what is this? Why I do dream about him? Because it's not anymore in my life. So why should I? And then my guru one time, she said, he took me to a house and she opened the door and there he was standing. When I met him for the first time, the same. And then he said, look, there's Christine. And I was a good friend with his sister. I was also Christine.
I'm not going to get
And they said, oh, yeah. And then he gave me, how do you forget me not flowers? And I thought, I tried to contact him because I'm Facebook and things. And, but yeah, it didn't work out because, I was telling about it and he said, no, I'm not with those kind of things busy, so he didn't. But in his dreams, he always wanted to reach me. And then he said, and then at one point, I think I said, so it's enough now. And then he came, that the last dream he said, okay, he gave me flowers, forget me not. But in real life, we don't connect. It was my first love, but anyhow, it was. So I think maybe he's my twin flame, but it didn't work out. That is what I think.
Will has a question. Will wants to know, can you meet your twin flame on Tinder and can they give you gonorrhea? Is there any?
Okay, can we please change the subject?
That's not a serious question.
I don't see why not. Actually, I mean, if that is a lesson that you need to learn, everything's a lesson.
Yeah,
everything's a lesson for somebody. Yeah. I don't want to live it. I don't want that lesson. Hell no.
What if you're done with like romantic and STD lessons? What if you're a Beaufont? You had every STD. You don't ever want to go back down that road again. What if you're done being burned? Can you just avoid your? But you find.
But I think you have only one twin flame.
You only have one, so it's not two walking around.
Yeah, but soulmates.
How many halves can one person have? You can only have half, right? It can't be 5 halves.
I learned that in fractions in math.
It's a monogamy. It's a spiritual monogamy thing. It's that one person, which it doesn't mean you're supposed to be with the person, though.
Well,
not this lifetime.
I mean, we have connections, close connections with family, but also with friendships that we make.
Okay.
Or teachers that we have, or a significant relative, an uncle or an aunt that we have, or a child or a grandchild. Definitely. Mm-hmm. I mean, does that have to mean that everyone is a twin flame or something like that?
No,
I don't know, and I don't really care. I mean,
no, absolutely not.
My job is to find my path and to live it consciously, step by step.
You can have many loves and many people you're attracted to, but there is only one twin flame.
One twin flame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I
That's
believe.
about telepathy and twin
Oh,
flames.
Gerard,
Yeah.
twin flame is basically a soulmate.
But even more, because you have No, I think soulmate is less than
It's
a
good
twin
to define our
flame.
terms if we're talking stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
And it'll be somebody that you'll know on sight.
Yeah.
You'll
Yes,
see them
Lori.
at the mall in the
Absolutely.
food court with some nuggets in her mouth, and you'll
That's
know
it, Lori.
that's. Or do you have to meet the person and get to know them, and it's revealed in time?
I'm saying not necessarily. You might not recognize them the first time you meet them. You might not recognize them this lifetime.
Yeah, true.
And how do you know that you know? How do you know that it is a soul flame and not just really hot, great sex that's hot and drippy and juicy and all kind of fun and stuff? How do you know that it's soul?
Because you can't have sex.
But then it's divine. Then it's your twin flame.
I got to answer. You said you cannot have sex with your twin flame.
No.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, y'all
heavenly
talking at the
sex.
same time. Shut up! Stop! One person. You're supposed to hit it or not hit it. Y'all, one person at a time.
Okay, can I ask a question though? I mean, I know we're in different time zones, but are we like on different timelines in the Matrix right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're hearing me as I talk, right? See, nobody responded.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's like time lags and shit going on.
Yeah, I feel like there's time lags going on here between the four of us.
Yeah,
and that's why we keep talking over each other.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But we understand this topic on a different level, I feel.
Yeah,
I don't understand it at all. You're right. We're on different levels. Jonathan is on level 72. You're on level 87. She's on 63. I'm on negative.
Okay, whatever condition I'm in right now, I'm handling.
Huh? I don't know any. All I know right now is if I meet this person, I'm gonna run. I'm like, oh hell no, you need to go somewhere. No, we ain't going no dinner. No, hell no. You're gonna bring drama and all kind of problems and syphilis to my life. No, I don't understand any of this.
Why does your twin flame gotta have syphilis?
Yeah.
That was Will's question. That wasn't even me. He wanted to know, would she burn you or something like that? He asked.
I think that Christ has met her twin flame, as she talks about the lover and about, but she has divine everything. Christ. Yeah. I think she has a twin flame.
Is Will her twin flame? Not Will Love Earth, but Will Bone Christ.
I think Will Workus, how is his name? I think what I feel when she talks about it, I think it's her twin flame. Mm-hmm. That's the only one I think she knows.
Well, she's here. She can speak for herself.
So did you know?
Sure she is. I bet she probably already did answer that question. I don't know.
I'm looking. So Christ, when you met Will, when you saw one, how did you meet him? Where did you see him at? Anyway. Was it like a Tinder swiping thing, something like that, or when you met him? Did you know right away? Did you know from a distance? That's my nigga. Did you feel that from a distance, or did you need to get to meet him? Did y'all need to go to coffee first? Was it after did boot knock in? Is it after multiple sessions of boot knock? Like, how did you know at what point?
Gerard's ready to date.
Huh? What's that? Gerard did what? Huh?
I said Gerard's ready to date again, and he needs advice.
He needs what?
Nothing.
Say that louder. My earpiece, I didn't hear you. What?
I said basically Gerard is ready to date again and he wants some advice.
Nobody said that. That was not even in this conversation at all. That didn't come anywhere near up. That is nowhere near.
I got it.
I'm trying to,
you did.
This is research.
I know.
I got notes. This is research. I'm taking notes.
The stream is about to experience technical difficulties.
I am still in this position of, because I'm not too far from it. Like, I believe this whole idea that, okay, there's somebody out there and you're going to resonate right when you meet each other, blah, 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 blah. I don't believe you should try. I think that you live your life. And when it happens, it happens.
And then it comes in. Yeah. We're not saying
you don't look for it. It comes to you.
You don't look for it.
So don't
No.
give me that he's crazy nonsense. I'm not crazy. I'm
didn't say
I'm
you were
living my life.
crazy.
I'm doing my thing. I just don't believe in going out on a profile and writing, oh, here are the secrets to the test on the dating site and da-da-da-da-da. Because people cheat. They just read the test and they pretend to be who they want, you think that you want,
Yeah, true.
and they act like a twin flame. That's like giving the answers.
Mhm.
I feel like if it's a twin flame, y'all supposed to be together this lifetime, you just meet. And it's just like, boom,
it happens like
happens.
that.
Right. They don't need to know the answers to the test. You just meet.
And
You
you
don't have
know,
on a face diaper, and you don't have on a face diaper, and don't kneel one of y'all want to social distance or put on that plastic body condom nonsense. Like, it's just there. So I don't believe in that. I think you live your life, and magically, if you're supposed to be there, it's supposed to be there. That's what I
yeah,
think.
you don't have to do anything you do
No.
of it
What?
because
Go ahead,
it attracts.
burn
It's
it.
like
I
ain't doing that.
magnets. It's
Right.
I
like
ain't
magnets.
I ain't no burning, because people burn people up for real in America. They light the whole house on fire. I'm gonna kill you and all the kids. I'm gonna kill everything, and the monkeys, the birds, and kill everything. Go find a monkey trying to get out the house. He can't even get out the house because he's still on his chain, and the house is burning down. And both go to the house. So I'm not trying to do the burn thing. No. So
Okay.
you can't like that.
Because I had a thing, like, even like online dating and everything, because I like considered it a couple times, but I didn't do it, but because I'm like, this isn't real, right? Like, I know we're on here, but to me this is so not. But anyway, and I was like, that's not how you meet people. Not that's right, whatever. But anyway, but I agree with Christine. What Christ has, like, you can feel it. You can feel that it's different with them. You know what I mean? And they met online. Am I spilling secrets?
But no, tell the secret. Don't.
No.
She's
She's admitted it before, right?
She's. Yeah, you and I both know it because she said it online
Okay.
before.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So let's take a vote. Can we tell their business? I vote we tell their business.
In her little
Everyone
chat.
vote. I think we should tell their business. Everybody vote. We're going to tell Christ and Will business.
This is real democracy now.
This is not the nonsense we just saw that had to do with the cuckoo virus and other things. This is a real democracy. I'm voting that we tell their business. What website did they meet on?
But
Yeah, Lori's right. She commented it here. She
Tinder,
commented it here.
Tinder, what else? No.
Yeah.
Facebook? No, I think she met him on
They met on
Facebook.
Facebook. They met on Facebook. Yeah, they
They
did.
met on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they lived in the same town. Did she answer a question yet? Or is she getting quiet?
I know. I'm not going to go on into her details. My point is that if it's meant to come into your life, it's going to come into your life. And if you're ready to receive it, like if Christ Henderson, sorry, am I really putting her on place?
You already voted. It's over with. Stop that. Go and tell your business.
I'm giving like middle names and socials and stuff.
She answered the question. She said, Will is definitely my sugar boo-boo.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
the twin flame
yeah.
sugar boo-boo.
And like, let's say they met last lifetime, but they weren't ready. You know what I mean? Or she wasn't at the level yet to recognize him. You know what I'm
They
saying?
met before?
Like Christine said, I think you might meet your twin flame every lifetime.
Yeah, but in
Oh, no,
another
no,
lifetime.
read his
So
chart.
they didn't meet this
Both
lifetime.
of you have to be on a certain level. Like,
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
ready. She wasn't on that
yeah,
level.
this is
She
my
was
frequency
like,
spiritual world.
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
level
you gotta be
2.
there.
And
And
Will
then
was
you-
level 8. She was level 2. She just was not ready. She had to get her
Might
act
as well
together.
gotta be higher than her.
But you just said she wasn't ready. You said she wasn't on the level. You the one putting the business out there. I don't think you should put people business out there, but you already doing it, so keep on going. So she
Yeah,
was not
okay.
ready. Will was ready. So she eventually got her act together, and then they finally met again.
Yeah, I'm saying that could have happened.
Oh, don't be trying
I
to
don't
clean
know
it
her
up. She's trying to clean it up. Don't try. I could have, might have started. No, she's told everybody business. Ah, Susie. It might have happened a different way. I'm not sure.
What I was saying is you meet your twin flame every lifetime. And if you're not ready spiritually, one of you ain't ready, it's not going to happen that lifetime.
No,
And
but you
you're
will
gonna come back
but
and do a
you
whole
have
other
come-
thing.
But you have interactions with your twin flame every
Yeah.
life.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Elaine
They
thinks
pro-
karma.
they met-
Right.
Yeah, okay, but
Elaine said karma dictates who you meet. Is that true?
Also. Also, but
Yeah.
that's another topic. Also, it's not contradictionary. Karma will, but twin flame is kind of karma too.
I think some lessons are to extend over a good number of lifetimes, and other lessons maybe will be part of one lifetime. And some lessons I think we learn with other people, or they share
true.
in our.
We don't have true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said she knew the first time they met in person. She felt it.
Yeah.
Before they took the drawers off and did the nasty. That's an important factor right there. So that's for research that you will know before, because that'll confuse you so this is a good example for people. Yeah. Don't give it up too quick. Don't just drop, give up the booty, the eggplant. Just pause and wait and make sure it's a strong connection, because you can get confused easily. Like I'm being serious.
It's true.
Most people nowadays confuse sex with love.
Yeah, and that's a downfall from society. Sex is too much confused with love.
Yeah.
And when you bring both in the high level, it's divine. When you have divine sex, you have divine twin flame. Something like this.
Okay. So you got to feel it, but
she writes in the book also that the union together on physical level with on sexual level is divine. When they in the lifetime she met her last life, like when it was a totally union on all levels.
See, we're helping people. Look, Melissa says she's learning, right? And she's leaning that way, that she's going to take her time and not run out there and just, take your time, live your life. Don't rush it. If it's meant to be, if it's your twin flame, look at me, I'm talking like I know what the hell I'm talking about. If it's your twin flame, you're just going to run into them in life. You just got to live your life. But I believe that. I didn't know it was twin flame.
But it's true. You have to always live your life.
Yeah.
No matter what.
People come in your life.
Yeah.
So
somebody coming into your life should be a bonus. It shouldn't be we're two jacked up people and we're jacked up together, so we're going to meet and lift each other's up. No, I think that you should already be whole, and the other person should be whole.
But life.
Otherwise, they're using you for happiness. Like, and that really has been my delay. It's like you have to already be happy, right? If you're not already happy, to me, you have no business dragging anybody down with you.
But
it's like that with with destined lovers. It's like that with teachers. It's like that with significant people in your life. When I was 18, I was.
Yes, Lori is right.
I'm sorry, Lori's funny.
A lot of people singing. No, I'm not giving advice.
Twin flame advice.
I love you, Lori.
No, it's not advice.
Keeps us grounded.
How I understand
I'm
it.
not giving nobody advice. I don't give advice. I don't do any relationship, anything advice.
Because whatever you
this out for me.
Please forgive me. I've been in academia for so many years. It's hard to. The pedantry sometimes creeps into my voice, so I apologize.
No,
for that.
we're not saying you have to fake everything. Everything comes by. I mean, but when you meet, and when we meet and we learn. And if we are not whole, you meet someone who is not whole.
Yeah.
And you have to learn through confrontation.
Yeah.
You always meet people on your own level.
We learn by doing. We learn by doing.
Yeah.
We learn by doing.
Yeah, but even like saying being whole or whatever, right? Like our society's screwed up. All of us are screwed up. And and you know what I mean? And even if you're like doing real well and on like say a higher level than most of the masses or something, you're still not perfect. You're still not gonna be whole, as at least in my definition of it in my head, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's about looking for someone perfect. I think it's about looking for someone that feels right, that is gonna, encourage you and support you on your journey while they do their own journey, like a dance, right?
Yes, kind of
like a dance of life together.
Totally agree.
It's not, someone else takes lead, someone else takes the lead. You take turns. I don't think it's, because if it's like I have to reach this level in order to find my twin flame, then you're going to be alone for the rest of your life.
and that's how energy works. It's that there's a positive and a negative charge, and they're constantly swirling and dancing around each other.
Right.
And it's
But with
and it's
clothes
if they were what's that?
But with their clothes on, that swirling and dancing around each other, that's
Gerard
another-
needs to get out.
Sometimes with clothes, sometimes without clothes. He does.
Gerard needs to get
Like
out.
you prefer. You.
Well, you know, I mean, sex is one of the biggest lessons we all have. We all have it.
Ooh, let's talk about that a little more. Tell us about that, Professor.
I am not
Yeah,
going to
we're
start
not
that
having-
conversation.
Yeah, we're not having
No.
sex lovins on this.
Wisdom. Shoot, we about to get Karma Sutra on there, baby. Ancient wisdom. Wisdom. This is scientific. It's Paul Bradley. You got tied to science, biology.
No, you went all deep Barry White when you were like Kama Sutra.
Right.
That's what I'm supposed to do. Men, we learn how to do that. Y'all know that. Like you talk to me in like normal voice. It's normal voice. Oh no, you call on the phone. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just laying.
Anyhow. So we
Mm.
started.
Then I go back to my
Started
high
with
voice.
initiation,
Y'all
and
know
we
what we
ended
do.
up here.
I know.
Like I'm just hanging out with my family. Shoot, when it's like that, I'll put chest out, put you, gotta do some push-ups or something. Hey, girl, how you doing? Yeah, man. Oh, are you my twin flame? Yeah. You ever killed anybody before? Did you go on that show?
No
with the
doubt,
wives?
no doubt. There are probably thousands of really bad pickup lines invented by guys centering around "Are you my twin flame?" There's got to be.
So,
Yeah, I would run away if somebody
Yeah.
would say
Yeah.
that to me. That's
Yeah.
not how it
All right,
goes.
together. You feeling that heat?
I'm pretty sure Gerard smoked weed for the first time today.
I never smoked a damn weed. You be talking in the third. No, this is why I don't smoke weed.
My
Susan,
theory.
the first time, right?
Yeah, the first time.
My friends just the stuff that y'all teach me, I don't need to smoke nothing. I can just sit here and just listen. Like I get high off of the things I hear on the internet. No. The only thing I smoked in my life, I said it before. I smoked oregano and it did not work. I healed something probably in my lungs because the African kids tricked me when I was in college. That's all I smoked was oregano. I've never done a drug before.
Okay,
People don't believe that because I got brown.
didn't
Yeah,
exactly
don't
have a
worry,
great
it's not what we.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that you're perfect. It's that you meet your twin flame during many lives, but in many different ways, and on the end, it's perfect. I mean, within maybe 3 or 4 lives,
it's
perfect.
well,
It's-
we because we forget where we've been, and we can't see beyond our own birth. We think that the chapter that we're living in is the book itself.
Yes.
No.
And when we begin to awaken and remember who we have been, or at first I think it's probably just suspicion. I keep getting images when I'm meditating. I keep getting images of this or that. What does it mean? And then I think maybe you progress to a little bit more in depth. The more you work with that, it's like a muscle. The memory is like a muscle. The more you work it out, the stronger it becomes. And I think, memory is a part of it. Plato says that all knowledge is remembering.
Yes.
We simply and there are several parts in here. I was rereading today the part where she's teaching her son how to read.
Yeah.
And he's like, he is not really learning language, he is remembering it.
Yes.
And he's
Amazing.
4 years old. So, we how else do you explain children with a gift that they come in, or a proclivity, a knowledge about what they want to do when they grow up?
Yeah.
Not every kid's like that, but there's a lot of kids like that.
Yeah. But remarkable in that book is she meets in the 3,000 years that she lives on Earth, because she remembers it all the time the same people she met in Egypt. On the end, I think in the last life, The people she was with in Egypt, when she was actually on a very high level, but she fell, she meets them in the last lifetime. And I don't know her last lifetime when she writes that book. Like her son was her teacher who taught her, who gave her exercises for initiation. Her father was, I don't know, a general in Egypt. Her, so like all those, and then her guru, she met later, her guru was also
Hotep.
Hotep, who reincarnated in India. So I think a lot of people from the godlike people, they reincarnated in India. And she meets them in this lifetime. But now she passed away, but she meets all those people. So it's actually remarkable. And like, can you imagine if you have to drag someone 3,000 years all the time and you can't stand him still after 3,000 years, you still can't stand him? Oh my God, that must be a nightmare.
Well, how do we explain, meeting people and we just get a really good feeling about them and we become friends like that pretty instantly, trust them. That to me is like a soul to soul recognition. It can be, it doesn't, I'm not saying that that's the only explanation for it. That would be,
alcohol is another one.
Yeah. And then it wears off,
Like, what the hell was I thinking?
Right. Friendships, I really think that we form sometimes lifetime bonds with our childhood friends if we're lucky, and we have someone from our childhood that we can actually, go back and have a conversation with when we're 60 or there.
I have 6 friends from.
But it's,
I have 6 friends from kindergarten, and we meet each other. Never stopped actually, and we're totally different. Actually, totally different, but still, and we like. You just like bonds, and I think that's from a life before, a strong bond.
And it could be that people are like on here and here. And it could be that there's a teaching and learning going on, because that is how we kind of, I think, maybe do this leapfrog. From lifetime.
It's not always be on the same level, but sometimes you're a teacher, sometimes you're a disciple. And in some subjects you're a teacher, and in some subjects you're a disciple, even among our 4.
Everybody congratulate Heather. I think she says she's pregnant.
Congratulations. That's great.
Congratulations.
No, I think I'm late again to this.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, Gerard's singing something else. I told you, it's music for the time. I don't care. On it.
Oh my God! I know. I need Jesus. I know.
I wasn't fall for it. I've been in the Matrix all day. I'm up on your game. Not fooling me.
And to answer the question, yes, Thor. I am scared of weed. I have no idea. I have problems with oxygen. What the hell am I gonna smoke weed for? Yeah, I'm scared. I'll do it, but it's going to be under the right context. Like, I'm not interested in recreational smoking weed, ayahuasca, mushrooms, nothing. I'm interested in like the being in tune with things, right? Questioning myself, growing as a person. Like, I'm really interested in that stuff. I'm just not mature enough yet for weed. I'm not mature enough for mushrooms. I think when you engage in those things, you should be ready for those things. I want them to be in a context that helps me evolve, and not just to party and get down and see Snoopy bleeding from the wall or something.
You know what? I noticed the more time, like in summertime, springtime, fall, when I can be outside all the time and like gardening in the woods or whatever, I don't smoke weed that much. But in the winter, when it's just like full on Matrix all day, then I smoke more weed.
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
That's That's what I want. When I do some weed and some drugs and stuff, I want to be in a forest. I would be like a beautiful setting, a garden or something.
Right.
Because I like being aware.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, reality pretty much sucks, but I like being aware.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like
awareness is good.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think for me is I don't smoke because I want to be aware by my through meditation and not through things outside of me, because it will fall. You will fall back. I'm sure. Universe wants you to grow on your own speed and not go like this and then fall.
In my case, I didn't. I had tried it in my 20s and 30s. Whenever it was around, I didn't go out of my way to get it. I had friends that did it, and then probably for I would say a good 15 years or so, I hadn't tried it, and then I felt like I was called to it, like I should, use this in my journal writing, and I did. And so for me, it's a form of spiritual aid. It's a teacher. It's probably not that for everyone, but it could be. And I don't think marijuana is the same, or rather, we may not all be on the same track. We may have a million different tracks, or 7 billion different tracks that we're on.
Mm-hmm.
And each one's journey is unique, and you have to be your ultimate advisor. You have to be your ultimate guru.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to choose for yourself. Which
at some point, it doesn't mean that you can't go and get help if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
I got help when I was ready. My teacher showed up, so I mean, it's simply a matter of self-knowledge, really knowing yourself. Keeping an eye on yourself, and slow and steady wins the race. It's like the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise never stops. He never goes fast. That's not his nature.
No.
The hare, it's like boink, 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 boink. Ha ha! I'm gonna win. And then what does he do? I'm so far ahead. I don't need to work at this. I can take a nap. And then when he wakes up, the race is over.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just went on and on.
Oh no, that's okay. Like I like Graham Hancock's take on ayahuasca, psychedelics, cannabis, and stuff like that, because it's not man-made, right? There's no chemicals added or anything. It grows actually from earth, right? And like shamans and all them, they don't use this stuff all the time.
No.
You know what I mean? They do use it, but it's very like special occasions, rituals, practices.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they prepare you like with food and what you're eating and what, you know what I mean? And mentally before you even take it. So I do think it is like beneficial, and I think we should use it. I just think we should use it in the right way. Most people don't use it in the right way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think if you're not trained for it, because they know how to handle it, and if your state is not good, you can totally flip out in the it's like you can go to hell with those things.
What Lori says is, what Lori says is true. Intent is always key. If you have the intent to learn or to grow, that's the right mindset to have. That's the right mindset to have. And then and then you'll learn something. You'll learn something. It'll show you something, because it's a force or a consciousness from nature.
Ooh, y'all made Thor say something deep and spiritual. Ooh, y'all see what he just said?
It's true.
I didn't see it because the comments doesn't. The comments.
You see the spiritual thing he just posted?
I think DMT is released at death because we review our life.
Hello. Hello. I just poo-pooed on the ground and stepped on it myself. You just welcome to spiritual knowledge.
But wait,
Mhm.
also, so
I don't.
DMT is also like in plants, and every living thing on the planet has DMT receptors. But I
Yeah.
just came across this, so I want to look more into it. But so according to the Egyptians, right, when you die, your soul goes to Sirius first. That's the bright star right next
Mhm.
to Orion.
Mhm.
And then the 3 stars in Orion, and then you go down the way. But the DMT molecule, like the image of Orion, looks like the image of the DMT molecule,
Mhm.
and then the DMT is released at right because everything connects. I just don't know how anything ever connects. I just know it does. I wish we knew how, but that can't be a coincidence.
My
No.
guru
That you
says
die, you
when
go
I don't
there,
think it
and
is.
it's like
I don't think it is.
my guru says when you die, you go to Uranus.
Uranus.
You
Yes,
go to Uranus.
stay there.
Mm.
You get a PCR
We're
test.
already in Uranus. And now they're trying to get in my Uranus, and it's bullshit.
I think they go to Uranus to tell you if you're gonna die, Christine. I think your guru got it wrong. They gotta go in Uranus first, and then they can tell you if you're gonna die or not.
But anyhow, I was not thinking
It all comes down to Uranus.
It all comes down to Uranus. See how the conversation went all the way around, and it confirmed all the way back to the beginning. You made a spiritual teacher out of Thor, and it all came back around to Uranus. Look at that. Isn't that how that works? It's called confirmation, y'all. It's called circular confirmation.
Right. I think one other word about DMT is that I wouldn't mess with it unless I was at a ceremony led by a shaman.
Or Joe Rogan.
You led by I'm not doing
because
no damn led by Joe Rogan.
You know, when we open ourselves up like that, we open up ourselves to both light and dark.
Mm-hmm. Yes, even mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ayahuasca, all that.
So intent is very important. People should not mess with that stuff unless they've reached a certain, level. And who's going to tell you that? You'll know. And if you don't know, if you have a teacher that is up above you, and he can look down and he can see exactly what's going on with you, then he's going to say, yes, you're ready, or no, you're not ready for that kind of experience. Because, if we're not ready, bad things can happen, and you will learn a nasty lesson.
Yes,
you will get attacked. You will get, by some dark, energy or a demon or something like that. So.
But that's an initiation. The teacher of her tried to tell her, you're not ready. You're not ready.
Right.
But
right.
at some point, she says, no, I want it. And then he cannot refuse because it's a law. And that's why, you have to read. You actually have to read it because it's very difficult to take a chapter out of it like we did now. And we get lost with the twin flames.
Yeah.
And no, it's the same thing. That's you might do ayahuasca, and if you're not ready, you're gonna meet something dark. It's gonna be your twin flame. That's what it said. But see, could be.
Gerard has subconscious now.
I'm just waiting for somebody to say, I'm your twin flame. Like, you crazy as hell.
Yeah, they're in your inbox.
Yeah, he has a lot of things.
I don't check that thing. There's a dingling in there. Nope, I don't check that thing. No, that thing is dangerous. That thing is a community violation. Just no. I don't look at that thing at all.
I bet your whole inbox is a community violation.
It's a community violation. They don't care. They only care if it's on your profile. If it's in your inbox, they let you anus cakes and all kind of delicious treats and stuff. So, ayahuasca. I heard if you do ayahuasca, you go see the lady in the forest. Is what I heard.
Yeah.
Is that
so? Maybe. Maybe
Is that
maybe
the positive? Is that the positive way? In the negative way, you take the wrong road or something and you end up somewhere else?
Hey.
They say when you do ayahuasca, you meet the lady in the forest.
I don't know.
From what I know from Graham Hancock, I forget what tribe it is.
When you supposed to be a druggie, y'all my druggie friends. Y'all supposed to know this. What you mean? From my thought, I'm kind of thinking sort of. Y'all my druggie friends. Y'all supposed to tell me what's going on.
But who did ayahuasca? Did somebody?
Oh yeah, I didn't do ayahuasca.
No, I've never done ayahuasca.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know damn woman in no forest until I'm ready. I need to know somebody who met her. What she look
I don't know if you meet her, but well, yeah, they call her mother, right? Like
yes.
the mother vine, or I forget, but I know that she's called the mother, and and supposedly like because most psychedelics you will like things, right? And see
Jackie
light.
Loesch says it, I think.
Yeah.
You meet your
and that's right, and that's what it's supposed to do. It actually is like a higher self, or talking to you, the Mother Earth talking to you, letting you know, like, you know, you can let go of this pain, or you know, you need to look at yourself, and you suffer because you have this kind of you know, behavior that you need to change or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's called like mother because she's like nurturing you, she's guiding you. That's what the ayahuasca sessions are supposed to be about. Like the mushrooms is like, let's go in the woods and see fairies.
Which drugs did make you?
I don't want to do ayahuasca in the woods.
Like
they say you
grow up. Yeah.
They say you get diarrhea and all kind of stuff. Get vomited.
But I think Edgar Cayce, didn't he see the spirits of nature by himself without because he never took drugs or something? He saw them by himself. The lady of the lake, the lady of the forest, the lady.
Yeah.
And also Krishnamurti also saw them.
Yeah.
Y'all think it's the same chick, or y'all think it's different chicks? The lady.
Not the same, but in different.
You think it's the same one?
Yes,
but
different
cultures.
Different from cultures, but it's the same one.
Yeah.
Same
energy.
It's a Kundalini, I think, but she can present in every way to you, I think. Because Kundalini is called in India the mother who nourishes you. Yeah. And it's also the inner self. And she presents to you as a mother, something loving, something what is for you best acceptable, I think, according to the culture we are grown in.
Right.
So you can be serious with mushrooms too. It doesn't have to be a party drug. It can
it can be
self-exploration. It's not just about fairies.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's about self-exploration too. I'm just saying it's lighter. It's lighter. It's not as heavy as ayahuasca. Ayahuasca will really make you look at yourself down to the
and are they real fairies, or are they imaginary fairies? Are you doing mushrooms going in the forest and you're just tuning to a different frequency and you're seeing something that's really there, or do you think you're just projecting?
Mark.
Well, it turns on more neurons, right? And it makes more connections in your brain. Yes. So I think they are real. Yeah. It's just that because all your brain neurons and cells are lit up, you can see them now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because your brain gets enlightened through the use of.
But under an MRI scan or whatever, someone in a high state of meditation also does that with their brain cells.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need,
and that's science, because they can see that, they can observe it.
Right.
Your brain changes. Yeah. In meditation, with the use of drugs and.
No, Lori, I haven't. No.
I haven't done ayahuasca.
I don't think I dare. I would be afraid. I would get lost. Really, I would not know to come back if I got out of my body or whatever. I think you have to look for me.
There's a few people in the larger community that have gone and done it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would. I want to know stuff. I would say.
I would, but like I said before, I'm not going to do it, Rick. I can do it, Bobby and Beaufont.
No, I'm not doing it in like a Motel 6 off a highway.
No, Beaufont put something in there. He'll add to it. They're like, oh, we're gonna send him on a trip. Nah,
we're all gonna laugh ourselves.
He'll put all kind of weird stuff in there. Ayahuasca, crack, mushroom. No, I'm not gonna do it. I want it to be a serious event. I want to go and sit down with the shaman.
Intent.
I think it needs to be,
I want him to have a grass skirt on and long enough so I can't see no old wrinkly testicles or nothing. And I want him like to shake the leaves and stuff. Like I want the real festival. I want the real thing. You know, go ahead and get my diarrhea and my nauseousness and then go there. And then he can pull me out and tell me what I'm supposed to be thinking. But yeah, I don't want it to be like, you know, like a party.
Then you miss the whole point. They're not supposed to tell you what you're supposed to be thinking because you're connecting to whatever's supposed to be telling you what to think.
Well, I mean, like prep you. Like, don't they prep you like, you know,
oh, yeah.
Walk towards the light, not towards the fire and explosions or something like that?
Yeah.
Avoid the monster that tries to sniff you behind the ear and something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elena is right too. It's meditation is everlasting, and the drug use is one experience.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it can be an aid when you know, administered, you know, properly.
Right.
But you know, like everything else with human beings, we have a tendency to overindulge.
Right.
In everything. So.
And you need extremely a lot of self-discipline because once
you do.
If you have self-discipline, you don't get addicted. You can use it whenever it's necessary.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
Like when all your friends are listening to Bill Gates and Fauci. Yep, it can be an aid. Oh, there it goes. There go the monster right there.
Who are you?
Huh?
I'm gonna ask you about that later.
It takes me 8 minutes to read Beaufont comments. He likes to make people read the code.
Mm-hmm.
In reference to someone else, I guess.
Like I said, don't understand half of what it says. The other half is pretty deep.
Well, I think he's saying he would not put crack, mushroom, DMT in your ayahuasca. I think it was some OE and 40 juice, both liquor. I think that's what he's saying.
We put meth in children's medicine.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. If you puke, be on your side. Yeah, because you'll die. Don't you die if you throw up like laying on your back?
But Graham Hancock also, when he did his, he went to Peru, I believe. Peru or Brazil, but and whatever little culture tribe or whatever that he went to, said that they believe in it so much they actually, well, because they know doses and stuff, you know what I mean, like proper use of it, and that they even give it to their children.
Yeah,
because it connects you to the mother.
But they know how to use it.
But they know how to use it, right?
They got the wrinkly testicle guys too, like Lori's talking about. These are the original people. This is what you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be a guy. It could be an old woman with the wrinkly breasts and stuff. I just wanted to be somebody that's older and they know what the hell they're doing and they come from that culture. That's my point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he says it's an excuse. He doesn't. He said, "I don't know him." I don't know you. Nobody know you, man. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows himself. That's why we're here. So I'm about drugs. Does Beaufont have a twin flame now? He's here.
Yeah, he's on. You can ask him.
Anybody in the audience think that they're Beaufont's twin flame? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that. That's gonna be
Okay.
I'm in live stream. Okay. So we did ancient knowledge. Woohoo!
That was good. I mean, till we got stuck, but okay. We got stuck. What's the meaning? We got stuck at one point. What's the coincidence meaning?
Gerard needs to get out. What happened?
You see what I'm eating, and this is part of why. That's onions. I love onions and garlic. My breath right now smells like, it smells like Beaufont's neck or something.
Beaufont's neck.
All right.
He looks like he got that redneck neck. Hair.
It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. How long are we going tonight, guys?
Okay.
This is a long chapter. It's a long chapter.
I
don't know. Do you guys want to maybe read a little bit farther, or is that all right? Or
then you have to ask the public. I like it because I read it already, but maybe it's
they can get up and go to the bathroom. They don't have a problem. I'm asking you guys.
Half of them are in the bathroom right now, and they on the toilet now.
Is that why it's kind of echoey in there? It's kind of echoey in there.
I've been before, so.
Half the time y'all talking, I'm just in there.
Okay. All right. Should I read it? Read further? Or?
I like it, but I don't know if you like it.
Ladies.
It's just.
I don't care.
Oh, I do. I'm. Yeah. This is.
It's deep, yeah, but I don't know if Susan or Gerard likes it. I don't know. It's just it's a bit.
Oh yeah.
I like it. I'm just struggling to understand it. I'm not as smart as y'all. Y'all been doing this for a long time.
But I had to read it like 2-3 times. So
this is my first time through.
It does help. It definitely helps.
Susan, you will love the book. You will
it was sounding like Guiding Light. I kind of felt like I was in a soap opera for a minute. So I just need clarification.
Yeah, I was going back and forth too because I was like, "Oh, it's this," and then I'm like, "Wait, they're having sex."
Is that right? Like, is that real? And how did they get any? You know?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen next? Fight walk in or something?
That's where our minds were.
Yeah. I'm not mature. I'm not mature when it comes to this stuff. Like y'all was getting deep and stuff, and I thought I was the only one who was like floating out.
No, I was like, wait, what's going on? This got kind of sexual.
Like when the UFOs and aliens coming in, they talking about rubbing each other's breastises and stuff. I'm like, come on, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on.
Jesus Christ, Gerard.
That's what I heard. Did you say something about a bosom? They always in the old books. They always somebody caressing somebody's bosom or something.
Okay.
That's what I heard. Don't you try to be objectifying over my experience. I'm having an experience here.
Oh, I'm hungry.
That's what we read.
Right.
I was in fantasy land. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't getting nothing else.
No.
I'm trying to find the place where we left off.
That was an
age ago, at least an hour ago.
Yeah, well,
probably an hour ago.
He had a great pickup line. Everybody was commenting about his pickup line. Like, oh, that was such a good pickup line.
Oh,
yeah, it was right after the pickup.
Are you my twin flame? Wink, wink.
There you go. Yes, it was right after that.
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she has, her twin flame faded away into the mist, and then she finds herself in another place and in another time. And she's older, and she's describing a lifetime there, basically. Once again, I am standing in the green meadow. Now I'm ready to go on. The air is fresh, the sun is shining, but still it's not unbearably hot. How strange. Never before have I noticed that it wasn't hot at midday, and now there's even a gentle breeze. There's something more that's strange too. As the mists disappear and I see the ground below my feet again, I notice that my feet, as well as the ground they stand on, are much farther down than they ever have been before. That means I've grown much taller. How peculiar. At my age, a person doesn't grow anymore. So how is it possible for me to have grown taller? And what a remarkable dress I have on. It's really funny. And where are my sandals and my hands? How very much they've changed. Everything is so peculiar, as surprising as if it were not myself, as if I were dreaming. But my consciousness is clear. I'm awake. I'm not dreaming. I look around. Not far away, I see a forest, and as I approach it, a house becomes visible among the trees. But what a strange house. The place seems familiar to me, and yet I know that I've never seen such trees in all my life, nor such a house. No, These trees are not even remotely similar to our palms. The house stands on a hill, and as I go up the steps through the forest leading to it, I know the house belongs to me. But how? I've never seen such a house, and yet it is familiar to me. It's not made of stone, and its roof is slanting instead of flat. As I enter the house, I know every room is familiar, so I walk straight into my room. As I step into the little room with the whitewashed walls, I stop before the window for a few moments to enjoy the magnitude. I see that both the little house and the beautiful green meadow are high up on the mountainside. Off
Why is it?
to the wall, immediately past Basin Gating. They have no sails and yet move along very fast. I'm back.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that is like really deep wisdom, and then internet is playing with you. Before you were talking
Yeah.
just random, and it was okay. I think this is really remarkable.
Really?
Don't you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe
I don't think anything happens by accident.
Maybe the people from the book, they don't like it and we laugh with it. I was thinking maybe we didn't take it seriously.
Maybe that's a possibility too. That's a possibility too. I mean, we have to, you know, we have to be serious with wisdom. We really do. There's a time to be serious and there's a time to laugh. That's what Ecclesiastes says. You know, there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. Yeah.
That's like all stuff sucks, right? Everything happening right now is like really crappy. You know what I mean? And like, so, you know, like a dark sense of humor, and you need all that really to survive.
Yeah.
Really.
You do.
Know?
Yeah.
But like even when I say like we're all gonna die or whatever, we really should stop saying things like that. Like, I mean, once in a while, but we say it because I mean it's funny and we want to lighten the mood, but
if we use it as a reminder to work on ourselves because our time is limited, that's one thing. But if we don't use it in a serious educational way, then you know, we're harming ourselves. Just like you said. I sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. I just think like we're constantly manifesting, right, in our minds, even if we don't realize it. And like the whole world is mental, right? So the whole world is mind. So
yeah, it is.
You know, so, and that's what I mean. Like, and we joke about it, and I know because I do it too, and I need to laugh because this shit is terrible. But you know what I mean? Like, we really need to start kind of watching what we say more, or how we say it. I think
definitely.
Even like now we're like, oh my God, FEMA camps and which is a real possibility. But what if we were always like, no, they're never going to get that far. People are going to unite. What if we talked like that instead?
Right.
I've never joked about a FEMA camp that I actually was going to be inside.
Yes,
I joke about it.
Yes,
I like it. Do you think I have a Betamax tape?
We have the tapes. I'll go.
You know, look, Beaufort and I just did a video on propaganda. If you can't spot my propaganda, do you think I got a Betamax? Do you really? Y'all think I got a Betamax in Star Trek tapes? Do y'all think that I'm a Betamax? Okay, all right. So, and this is a bad example because hell yeah, I got my Betamax and I got the Star Trek tapes. I got Next Generation. I got all the seasons. I got all of them. But no, I'm not going. There you go. That's my Truckee brother right there. Truckee Power to the universe. Boom. You know, Truckee Power, we don't get none universe. So
your whole background was FEMA camps, and you were like, there I am. That's my trailer.
I laugh about it. When I say it, it is never real. I'm laughing because like the present reality most people are in, I think is clueless. But you and I'm gonna say this very clearly, and to the NSA and Homeland Security and CIA and everybody else that's watching, if you're watching, You will never put me in a camp. Kill me. I will go happily. But you will never put me in no camp. I'm not a slave. I joke with it because to me, I think it's funny that we live in a time where people like they're okay with the government like putting 30 FEMA trailers in their backyard, like this is for you, like, and people are okay with this. So no, I joke with it because it's funny to me, but no, ain't nobody is putting me anywhere.
It's a question of is there is there something you're going to put above your soul? Are you gonna sell your soul? Do you have a price?
I'm gonna live free.
That's basically it.
And when I say hashtag we all gonna die, hashtag we all gonna die. But none of us are actually gonna die. You just turn into wave energy, you float around, and then you come back as a baby or a rock or a giraffe or a Gophon or something. I don't know. You come back as something else. But so for me, this is what it did for me. It makes me happy to be able to joke with other people who understand that all of this is a bad idea. We all know it's a bad idea, and they're not taking all of us. Some of us, they're going to have to learn a hard lesson from, either from the people we leave behind or from the drama we put you through. But you're not going to take the spiritual free creatures back into slavery, right? Like all of us came from slaves. And that's why I talk about that as well, right? Because everyone came from slaves. And if you're okay with somebody putting chains on you or handcuffs on you or putting you in the back of a van to take you to a FEMA camp, that's no different than putting you on a slave ship to take you to America or a slave ship in Britain to take you to North Africa. We've all been through that. So I laugh and I joke with it because it's funny. But on my very few occasional moments, I'm very serious. You will not put me in a camp and you will not take my neighbors there.
Yeah.
You need to kill me and I will be happy to be killed. But I will not stand aside and watch. We know what they did in Germany. It ain't no way in hell they're going to do that on my watch here. And that's my firm statement.
Well, I think because I do it too, like I said, and it's like a coping mechanism, really, because you really want to be serious about this shit right now. Like that would make you insane. Like that would break you, And I think part of defeating whatever's happening or the reptilians or robots or whatever they are, you have to be like in a space where like nothing they do affects you. Like nothing they do can break you spiritually. Nothing they can do. You know what I mean? Like they could hold a gun to your head and say, take this or I kill you. And you're just like, that's it. Kill me then. Yep.
It's like the scene in V for Vendetta when Evie, after she, is tortured by V and, she makes a decision. I'd rather take a bullet behind the chemical sheds instead of talking. Which is her line in the sand. No, I don't have, she's saying, I don't have a price. I'm free.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
but
what she said.
The thing is, if you're challenged, if you have to get through torture, you really have to be courageous because people start talking when they get tortured.
Yeah.
And even they don't want to, but we don't know how painful it is, how awful it is. So
I don't think I'd want to have that test.
Me neither, I think.
I don't think.
So this is part of like the whole intentions thing, right? When we get serious outside the joking part, which is this is what I'm manifesting. You're gonna let me go free, or you're gonna kill me, but I'm not gonna give you another choice. In that speaking that intention, it allows them to make a choice ahead of time. What do I want? And so they already know ahead of time what they're going to get when you're dealing with me. This is what you're going to get, but you're not going to get a slave. And so I try to make it jovial. I think it's ridiculous and it's funny to me that we are this stupid that we know this happened in history. But don't ever think that I'm trying to manifest that. I'm not. You're not putting me in
I'm not saying any of us are. Like God I don't think anybody here would actually manifest shit on purpose.
Right.
But,
I probably do that, but not with this
But-
one. I think I manifest things on accident, but not that one.
Well,
I think because there was nothing sound, right? So us speaking, I think, has a lot more effect on the world than we really know or take credit for, And I just think because you're putting it out into the world, whatever you're saying. And I'm just saying, as much as we focus on the bad and all this bad shit coming, we should also try to focus and direct intent towards the good, because I think mentally we could probably change this if we were all on a same thing, vibe, whatever.
I think we already have. I think it's already too late. I think that we've already. I think the reason why we're here and the world is being reset is because enough of us said enough. And while it can be about white supremacy, and George Floyd, and viruses, and all the things that are happening, I think collectively we already hit that percentage years ago.
Yeah,
this is a response to what we were asking, which is to get rid of this world that requires we all engage in dark magic, money, currency, debt, war,
slavery.
U.S. Incorporated, slavery, all of this stuff just to buy food. You got to engage in all that stuff just to own the car.
Pain and suffering.
Right? Pain and suffering. And this is why I think money is more of a spiritual thing than anything. And you're taking in all the blood spiritually from all the death that all this money comes from. And I think this was the response.
It's literally.
I think that a lot of us have prayed for this. A lot of us have manifested this. And we have to just dance through the dark, right? We're going through the dark time of resetting back to a more powerful, enlightened, beautiful world. And I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But I'm okay not seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing it for your kids. I'm doing it for the next generation. The next generation of humans will be free, or I will be nitrate happily. But I'm not going to sit back any longer and allow psychopaths to run a world that I've created children to live in and act like it's okay. It's not okay. So I think we manifested it. I think we're here, and we just have to dance through the dark, dance in the rain.
Yeah, and money has very dark energy.
Yes.
And it's really true. My teacher said, my guru said, money is the worst energy you can have. Poor people have much more better aura than rich people. They have means because you take that energy in you without knowing it. It's unconsciously it sucks into you, and it is literally, like you said, blood money. Literally,
it is all. It's all blood money. It's like and so, but it's like we talked about blood diamonds, blood minerals. They're all blood minerals. They're all blood diamonds. All the cars are dripping blood from all the nations that we robbed all the minerals from and killed all these people from. That's our entire society, and it needs to burn. And I'm happy that it's burning. I rejoice every morning when I wake up. Yes,
and it's. I was gonna say, and it's all like a spell, like an evil belief system, really, because money isn't even real, really. No. It's not. It has nothing to correlate it to or back it to, or you know what I mean? They can change it. It's not existent.
It's a fantasy.
It's an illusion. And American
flies are drawn to shit. So money attracts psychopaths.
Yeah.
And so is power. It's low vibrational energy. Really.
Put it between you and what you need to live, so that you have no choice but to engage in dark magic with these
magic.
Right? And so
slavery and selling your soul, and
it's a shackle, which is why the correct way, I guess, of saying it. Financial people, they say it's not money, it's debt. Right? You're born and they give you debt, so you need to go out in the world and do dark magic to earn this thing that shouldn't even exist. And so it's a shackle. Money is 100% the way they put the shackle around your neck. It's an iron shackle that you can't remove, because to eat, you must engage in the system that gets stronger and stronger. The iron gets thicker and thicker. And this world needs to go away. And it is going away. And the question I always ask myself, well, what price am I willing to pay? I'm willing to pay every price. This world has to go away. I was telling my brother this, and I get into it with him a lot, which is, he said, oh, well, there's heaven and hell. And I said, no, we're in hell. It doesn't get any worse than this. It doesn't get any worse than knowing every drink that you take, every potato chip that you bite, everything that you do, you're engaging in the murder and genocide of people all over this planet, because that's how the system works. This is hell. It doesn't get any worse than that. Right? Just to get up in the morning, you need to engage in genocide in Yemen.
And that is what the dark powers want you that. So they want you to be complicit in what they actually created.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan. You just made it dark. You just took it there.
No.
I don't talk about that. We all gonna die, but it ain't not that serious.
But you took it to the dark. I didn't take it to the dark. I said, let's manifest positivity and good shit. That was my whole point.
It's gotta go
Going on the
dark to get light. You gotta go through the dark. I think it's funny. I think the hashtag "we all gonna die" I think it's funny.
Yeah, it's
Every time I
hilarious.
hear it, I never take it serious. I just think it's hilarious. Like, wow, like what Christ said before.
Yes, it
We all
is.
gonna die to avoid butt swabs.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. Like, this is us.
Yeah.
This is the best we can do.
I'm
We
not, yeah.
have
Everything that I pull out on other people, trust me, I don't do it. I do it. I say it because I realize it in myself too. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? I'm totally an asshole like everybody else. I just admit it. I'm like, yeah, we're assholes. Let's work on this. Everybody else is like,
Mhm.
no, it's just a joke. And I'm like, no, we're
We're the
assholes.
good guys. No, we're not. We're the dingleberries. We're hanging from, we're swinging. We're like, oh, Lord, here comes the swab. Oh, like, get out the way. All right, like, go ahead. We're dingleberries. We're hanging onto a system that we need to just let go. Let go. No, we need to do normal. No, we just need to let go. That's a butthole. It's a big dark one too.
Yeah, there's lots of things that I do that I'm like, man, I really shouldn't be doing this, but hey, it's funny.
But like Christ said,
No?
this is hell, but it's also heaven. It's what we make. We're going to make it a Garden of Eden, or we're going to keep it a dingleberry factory. It's our choice. And it's an honor to be alive in the time that we actually get to choose.
Yep.
What an honor.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's lessons we can only learn in these times, I think.
Yeah.
And we have to make a choice, and that is to choose life or death. Really, choose to to be or not to be.
Yeah, it's like almost in plain sight. If you don't know what to choose, then
Right.
like,
Yeah.
this is really the lifetime. We make it so easy for you. You know what to choose. If you don't choose it,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even like my mom today saying about how like adults actually go on the news, like, you know what I mean? Like, and they were pretty indoctrinated. So it's to a point now where even people who like don't really research or know anything going on is still like something's really messed up and wrong. You know what I mean? So it's right. And they say at the end times the truth will be shouted from the mountaintops. And if you're not like, if you can't see it, then you're going to be washed away in the valley with the floods.
Yeah, exactly.
As you should be. As you should be. Survival of the fittest never stopped, and it's not a bad thing. They're gonna come back as a little snot-nosed baby or something. Probably be Christ and Will's baby. Isn't that weird? Like, if you have a baby during a time of like mass adult ignorance, you're probably getting one of the ignorance as your baby. So
and
you
in
might want to wait
Revelation,
and have that baby.
in Revelations, remember it said, "Woe to the mothers, the nursing mothers,
Yeah.
and the pregnant mothers during the end times," because it's going to be, who would want to have a baby in this world right now?
Right.
I'm about to be a grandfather. This is weird.
Yeah, but you know what? We need them. We need them.
We do.
It's going to be rough.
Well, and that's a good thing too. Like, we started to talk about that on that video late last night. Which is it's time for people to stand up. You have a lot of young people who are depending on you to do the right thing, depending on you to stand up and stop being a coward. And we played coward all 2020. Now that we know that this is all some bullshit, so it's time to do the right thing.
You used the proper language, Gerard, so you didn't offend any chickens.
Bullshizzle.
No,
remember? Was I cussing?
Huh?
Remember I told you they're mad about speciesism. So if you call someone a chicken, you might offend the chicken.
Okay. I was like,
they gave you a list. It actually was on the news, the list. So instead of calling someone chicken, you call them a coward. And instead of calling them a pig, you call them disgusting, because that's so much nicer instead of offending the pig.
I'm gonna study that list, and I'm gonna go.
This is real. This is reported as real.
What is the name of that movie? No, it was
crazy?
in a movie. No, what was the name of the movie where when they cuss, they get like an infraction? What was that movie? Every time you cuss, it was an infraction.
Yeah.
Then you would go to jail. Like everybody was singing happy like children's songs, and they were like all big babies. I think Sylvester Stallone was in it. It's not Minority Report. It was in the future where
Demolition Man?
Demolition Man. That's it right there.
Okay,
right. In the future, and everybody was happy. You couldn't curse, you couldn't swear. Murder stopped being a thing, and that actually is a world that a lot of people want. People want that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they understand how that would get rolled out. Like the idea of giving government total power over everything and everybody.
Well, if you want to go right on sleeping, what better formula than to have them transfer your consciousness into a cybernetic robot that can live 50 or 100,000 years. And then when that one wears out, they'll give you a new one. Talk about never having to encounter any uncomfort or pain or suffering that would actually make you fucking change.
Yeah, but you wouldn't really be alive then.
You
have to be connected to the cosmos to be alive. And if they separate, upload your consciousness and put it somewhere else, then I don't think you're really alive.
No, because if you don't have, a choice, if you don't have two things, if you don't have a masculine and a feminine, then you don't have consciousness.
Right.
Because consciousness means a choice. It means to choose between this or that. What's that, Gerard?
Are we alive now?
Well, if you can see a choice for you to make, I can see one for me. I think you can see one for you too, about what's going on in the world. I think all of us here can see the choice. So yes, you're alive. Absolutely, you're alive.
Well, from a ish perspective, right? So the difference between Demolition Man and now is just a few more laws, right? We already got 1 million laws on the books, right? So, but I guess in that understanding, in Demolition Man, you could be alive too, but you'll be the Wesley Snipes and the Sylvester Stallone or whoever swinging, blowing up stuff. It's like you can live free. You don't actually have to follow the psychopathic law. You could live free, but so I think it's a choice. Like now, the only difference is in that movie, it's just they got a few more laws than what we have now. But by the rules right now, the laws, nobody is free. None of us are alive.
Right.
If you're following all the laws, you're not really living your own life.
Right.
You're dead. You're a clone.
You are dead. You are dead. If you are an order follower, you are dead. Because you are ignoring your conscience, which is your higher potential, your connection with spirit.
Yeah, and that is zombie. That's literally zombie.
Yes, it is zombies because they're only horizontal. They're only about the physical. That's materialism. That's the worldview that has been foisted on us in the West for who knows how many hundreds of years, if not thousands of years.
But we're the perfect slaves because they've indoctrinated us to think if we're not obeying the masters, that we are criminals. That
And that you're bad. Yeah.
and we built massive prisons that we filled with children because we've convinced ourselves that children can be deemed the bad guys if rulers determine, if our slave masters determine that they were bad.
Right.
And half the time, they don't have to be proven guilty in the court of law, being bad. They just think that they were bad. They're just holding them because someone reported them or something. We live in very dark times. How is this not hell? This is total hell. It can be heaven, but it's a total hell. We literally let them do that. So anyway.
It's not a total hell. If it was total hell, there wouldn't be flowers.
Oh.
That's my theory.
Or trees.
Or trees.
Or laughter.
Yeah.
Or bunnies, or laughter, or stars, or babies.
Right.
So it can't.
It's a collective hell. It's not a total hell. It's a
You
collective
can never
hell.
destroy the dark or the light. You can never destroy it in reality. You can pretend it away. It still exists in reality. You know, and of course dark and light meet in the center.
Yeah.
And what seems to be two is actually has always been one.
And the beautiful thing about hell
Back
with flowers.
to the twin flame.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how that happened. I don't think that we did that. I don't
brought
think
us all the way back to the twin flame.
I don't think we did that. I think we're still in hell. We're not there. Well, maybe.
Oh my God.
We're still in hell. But it's a collective hell. But the beautiful thing about hell is there's no good and no bad. There truly is, without hell, there's not a heaven. There's no good and bad, dark and evil. It's just we're in a time where we're being educated and we went the wrong path in evolution. And now it's time to turn around and go back the correct way. So it's a beautiful thing that we're in hell and we can see the flowers. We just have to keep work on there being less and less lava.
Yeah, hopefully. It's hot.
So if you see your twin flame, you run like hell. Like, oh, hell no. Run a check first. Run a check. Make sure the person is where they need to be.
And the initiation, the emerald tablets, the Hermetica, and even the Bible says that you can move mountains with one mustard seed of faith. So that means that if you believe in yourself, if you actually free your mind, you can stop lava.
Yeah.
Yep, that's literally, that's how shamans do it. In Hawaii, they did it. Do you know the story from Hawaii? There was when the volcano at one point, it exploded. She's Pele. Pele is the goddess of the volcano. Right. And there were people like the Hono, what is the philosophy of Hawaii? Something. And there was going to the house.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
The shamans, they said to the lava, you have to split, we will ruin my house or something. They did something, and the lava split it, went around the house, and went back together and continued further. And there's also that story that Pele, there were scientists, people who studied the volcanoes and lava. And then at one point, someone was talking to a lady, and an old lady, and she said, "Yeah, you have to leave this island because the volcano will explode." Yeah, it doesn't look like, he said, because they were scientists, and we don't see. Yeah, actually, I just warned you. It's your choice, but please leave. And he was talking, and then I didn't know what we all said. And then you go, and then later on you can go back. It was a whole story. I don't know what, but anyhow, she warned them better. It's going to be a big explosion. And then the other people who are in the same group, then they said to that man, "What are you talking? Who are you talking to? There is no one. Are you crazy?" "No, I'm talking to the old lady here." But there was not an old lady. And it was actually later on, it was Pele. She was transformed in an old lady to warn, because it is her volcano. And she warned those people to go in time home because there will be an explosion. And there's all the stories when you go to visit that the Vulcan. It's very beautiful. You read all people who have, actually see that goddess, but in a different form, and not like she is like fire. But also it's very beautiful. And then you cannot take stones from her mountain because then she's really angry. And all the people who do that, they have terrible things that happens to them till they bring the stones back. There's a whole wall with stories. It's actually amazing. But that's the power of nature in Hawaii.
That on the Brady Bunch. I learned that on the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, anyhow, but
there was an episode where they went to Hawaii and one of the kids took a stone home.
Yeah, it's a story, but it seemed to be really true. It's
sorry, totally juvenile.
It's in my head now. I can't
funny,
get it out.
but it's funny. People laugh at it. But they do say, I don't believe that, and people do that. I don't believe it. I take stone with them, and then later on they have to admit it.
Right.
But Hawaii, if you go there, the power of nature is still extremely strong. That's why. So
definitely.
I know
the native population there has been trying to get independence for a long time against the empire. A long time.
Yeah.
We look like a special Brady Bunch. A few of us are in FEMA camps. We lost a few. Marcia, where you at? I don't know where Marcia's at. All right, listen, folks, it's been wonderful. Wonderful. We gotta go. It's been a great night. Wonderful discussion. Yay! Woohoo! Had a lot of fun. Twin Flame. Woo! All right.
We can dream about Twin Flames. Let's see
what
happens.
You
can dream about it.
I'm not dreaming about nothing. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up.
In reality, you can dream about it.
No, listen. Somebody said it earlier. Said it was probably Lori. Gerard is jaded. Yeah, probably him. I don't know. I've been through some fires in my life. I'm just. Can I skate? Can I just skate? The brothers just skate, and if I fall and land on somebody, then I fall and land on somebody. It's just I'm skating. That's all. I don't need to dream about it. I want to dream about the mermaids and stuff, aliens.
Because people have to stop falling in love and start growing in love.
Yeah, so you have to rise in love. That's true.
Yeah.
That's what my guru says. You have to rise in love. Don't fall in love. Makes you don't lose your head.
Susan's being mature. That was so mature. People have to stop falling in love.
I got it from a meme, man.
And they need to start growing in love.
All my wisdom for memes.
All right. That's a wonderful last word to close up on. All right.
Okay.
Everybody, have a wonderful weekend. A lot of fun.
Right.
You too.
Everyone else, thanks for joining. We shall see you guys at a later time.
I love you guys.
From Susan's mouth to your ears. You try to remember, it's more important to do something.
Focus on the good.
Not something which love and focus, not fall. And think and grow.
Listen to Gerard.
That's what's I forgot it all.
Break the chains that bind me, 'cause I wanna break the chains that bind you. Do you want to set the world free, have perfect harmony? Isn't it time for that? Do you want to free, boom, 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 free the people? Do you want to free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom to the top? Make modern slavery stop. Do you want to let go of the prisoners? See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people? free, boom, boom. Free the people and Mother Nature too. Close down all the zoos. Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna free, 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 boom, boom? Free the people, do you wanna free?